All right. Well, everyone, we are back here with another episode of the Cloud9 podcast, season 9, episode 7. So I know I said we were going to be doing an extra episode with this past week that just happened. But I had someone on my one-on-one show who pretty much was just absolute garbage. And then I was tired at that point, so I took a nap, and I thought I was going to get Crystal in before the time of our other show, which is obviously this one, and that didn't happen. So that's the reason why we didn't have the extra show.
This nigga out here, you working too much, man. You got to realize sometimes you got to know your priorities. You already knew you was going to do that other stream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I mean, I know you want to. I mean, if Crystal was only able to do that day, that's one thing. But if you knew she could do another day, you go for another day.
It was because I woke up late and I had already told her we were gonna do it that day. You know.
Okay.
And I was sitting there going like, it's Chaz. He's black. She's a girl. I gotta choose the girl first. You know how it goes.
Yeah, she gonna come in one time and never come back. You know how they do.
What?
She ain't gonna come back.
Are you saying girls won't ever come back?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. Most girls in my life usually never come back, but that's not what I'm trying to say here. Is they love it so much they realize if they do come back, they'll be dickmatized. That's how it's
they ain't dickmatized. Nope. Tiny likes the platform, and 1776 is crazy. London's your ex. That means she's kind of stuck with you, unfortunately.
What do you mean, unfortunately? That'd be a blessing to be stuck with me. What are you talking about?
Too bad you don't want to get stuck in her.
No, I'm good. I would like to take 500 on that, Alex.
I think. Hey, I'll cream pie her for 1,000, Alex.
No. Oh God, she'll send you to jail if you do that. Oh my God.
Double jeopardy. Just put her right. Well, she'll put me in jail because I get her pregnant.
Yeah, that's how it works for Hispanic girls.
Nah.
Wait, pregnant? Nah. You ain't getting no girl. You ain't touching her. What the hell?
You sure about that?
Yeah, because I'm gonna take your dick out and start jerking you off.
What's wrong with you, guys?
Oh, and for anyone who has been listening to the show on the podcasting platforms, the Iron Man podcast issue I fixed and will be able to upload the episodes now officially moving forward. So there's 5 episodes of the Iron Man podcast already out currently right now on the podcasting platforms, and you guys will be able to binge and listen and watch all the other episodes of the Cloud9 podcast as well. So the goal ultimately is to be at a point where I do an episode of the Iron Man podcast, I put it out for you guys. We do an episode of this show, it goes out for you guys. But due to the fact that I have to take the long way route on getting the show up, and it was Chaz's idea that worked, I was literally on my last thing. I was like, this is not going to work. And Chaz was like, could you do it this one? I was like, well, I mean, sure. I mean, I already tried everything else at that single point, and that worked. But doing Chaz's way, it's going to take a hot minute. All the episodes probably won't be able to be uploaded until January. Yeah, because with your way, because it's the only way that works, it's going to work, but it's going to be really, really slow, actually. Because YouTube, I didn't know this now. They have an actual upload limit now. Back in the day when I was uploading, you could just upload 6 videos at once. You could just put them up if you wanted to. Now they actually have it where if you want to upload more than 4 videos a day, you have to verify yourself an ID or some bullshit. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'll just put out 4 episodes unlisted into my backup account, let them process, and then download them and then upload them. But I do want to say thank you to every single person that listens, that has been here since the very beginning and is still currently listening. So you get your pop culture entertainment show we have, and you have this one. And I know you guys really, really like us talking about League of Legends. So let's just dive right into it. The World's 2023 Swiss stage is OVER, over. This shit is done. It's finished. And literally, everyone knows I like, Cloud9, G2, and Gen G. And, well, we don't talk about RNG this year. They chose to just...
And 1 out of 3 out of those teams made it. For me, 2 out of 4 of my teams made it. The other 2 teams was G2, unfortunately, and 100 C's that had and
So I had some issues this year.
A cornucopia of issues.
Yeah.
Little issues.
It's crazy. Chaz gets both of his teams in quarters, and it just
and you know the fucked up thing is both my teams faced each other to get in. Oh my god, damn it!
You know what I also learned and figured out today? So who did G2 face at MSI after they beat Mad Lions? They faced Gen G.
Yep.
Who did they face after they lost to Gen G? Remember they faced BLG.
Yep.
What happened at this World? They faced Gen G.
Yep.
Then they faced. You can't make this up, man. Riot is writing the script, man. You can't make this up. They literally faced both BLG and Gen G at the same international tournament in the same fashion.
Yep.
That's. Oh my god! And I know people said Riot doesn't write the scripts. You can't write the script any better than that.
They wrote the script because think about this: they could have gave us a way where there would have been no. They gave us NA versus EU that automatically one of those teams was getting in. They made it that one of those teams was getting in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
And dude, like in the back of my head, because everyone knows the reason why I usually know my team's going to lose, but I still predict them is because I'm still a fan of the team. I still want them to win. But in the back of my head, right when they lost to NRG, I was like, if they get a Chinese team, it's over. Like in the back of my head, I already knew if they got
Because the only team I would have saw was Fnatic, but like. The craziest
luckiest chance they would have got Fnatic, but like since they lost to NRG, worst case scenario because they would have been 2-2, they were going to get one of the other like 2-2, 2-1.
It was
LPL teams.
It was either get a Chinese or a Korean team.
Yeah, it's either you luck out and get Fnatic, or you luck out and get DK, or at worst Weibo, and it's like.
And honestly, DK was the only team that looked broken, and DK wasn't even fully broken. KT
I remember they couldn't even play, and people gotta understand. That scenario that I just brought up. Do you guys know why that can't happen? Because they already faced both DK and Weibo and beat them. So the only opponents they could actually get in that draw is BLG or Fnatic.
No. You guys can get the same opponents again.
Really?
Yeah, because the way they had it is you could get the same opponent again. Because it's random. It's not like a selection. That's me.
Oh, there's not a rule on if I face you and we're 0-0 that I can't face you when I'm 2-2, right?
No, there's no rule this time. The only rule was that no inter-region team could face each other in the first round when they were 0-0.
Okay.
That means G2 couldn't face Fnatic when they were 0-0. They could face each other when they're 1-1. 1-2, 2-1. They can face each other then, but and that's the way they structured it. They didn't want because they heard the complaint from every side. Now they're going to hear the complaints from here, but the issue is it's random,
right?
To a certain degree,
yeah.
Because even that you could kind of
it's really weird because. Because we'll get into it later on, but guys, overall, I do enjoy watching Worlds. It's just, and I get it. League of Legends is really hard for to format and see teams. It just is because okay, so when Cloud9 and T1 faced each other, right? Yeah. Obviously, they're the second seeds from their region, and people that are just new just won't understand this. They're well, aren't they both second seeds? Yes, but in League of Legends. Specifically, maybe more so in this game than others, a second seed from the LCK is much different in quality and strength than compared to a second seed in the LCS. And as you saw, even though T1 had quite a number of weird ups and downs, they were still able to essentially run through Cloud9 without any real trouble, actually. Actually, they had more trouble facing Team Liquid, and then you could also attribute that to hey, first game jitters, hadn't played on stage in a month. Once they got more acclimated to the stage, it looked like they were just going through the motions at that point. They already knew what they wanted to do, actually, And that's what people said for Team Liquid. If you don't beat them right now, if you do face them again, you're not winning that again, You don't even get in that position. So, yeah, this is something that Riot has to fix. I mean, I've seen years of the other format, and I've seen, 1 year of this format. So it's kind of hard to be hey, this one works better because we've had one for 10 years. We only had 1 year of this one. I would say I would say for a rule going into international events, and yeah, I love me some top teams playing against each other.
Yeah.
I do, but that is why you watch the actual regions for that. Like Worlds and MSI really shouldn't be for like teams facing each other from the same.
It shouldn't, but it's the issue. It's random. That's why they get that leeway because it's not. Mm-hmm. It's like the only way you would have to structure in a way where you automatically put the first seed on one side, and you have to keep switching it. Like, okay, that's me. G2. That's me. There is like say G2's the first, or say for the spring split was MSI. Mad Alliance is first split. First seed.
Yeah.
G2 couldn't be on that side. That's it. You would have to literally have it.
I had an idea. So to structure the tournament, they're not going to do this, obviously. I mean, I asked for double elimination last year, and they did it at MSI. I was like, okay. And they did do it at Worlds this year, but it was in the playing stage. So, I mean, I'm getting closer to how I want these tournaments. I think you want to do it in a way where the LCK and LPL teams fight each other, and then the LEC, LCS fight each other. Then, so like, who's the second seed? So, like, let's say if BLG loses to T1 like they did, they should play the second seed of LCS or an LEC team that won or lost their match.
Then that starts switching up the brackets. That's the issue.
Well, that would clearly put the regions obviously opposing on each other, and then you're still going to have to go through LPL and LCK teams. You'll just be going through the ones that won or lost their matches too. You can still have them face each other.
I'm the opposite. I like it when the teams face each other in the second round in the same region, because what it does, it guarantees that there's no two LPL teams. I think there still ended up being two LPL teams in the finals. That's mean it's, but it makes it that one of them has to go through the loser bracket, because there is an actual structured way where they could have made it a JDG BLG would have been on the opposite side. The picks will have to go a certain way, but
that's. I mean, I don't know how the format would be structured. I would just kind of structure it in a way where if you want a mixed match of regions to face each other, then the losers and winners of the matches will face the other opposite people. But that would also be a problem with, if let's say you win all the way through and you're only facing like the losers of each match, is that still just as hard? And I would be like, yeah. So like even if like JDG like lost to like BLG. Let's be honest here, dude. None of the LCS or LEC teams are going to beat them, even though they are a loser of the first match. But that's a weird tournament. I don't know what kind of tournament that would be. That would be kind of more like that's a weird way of structuring it. But I doubt it's ever going to happen, because you'd have to basically have like worlds within worlds of like these guys going on different days. Because when you're watching these matches that we saw yesterday, it really does feel like it's hopeless on certain. Like, remember that game that G2 won against BLG? They literally had to play like at max level to beat them. And BLG next game kind of just were like, okay, that's cool. We saw their strategies. Now we're just gonna play the way we always been playing. Like it literally takes a Western team fighting as hard as they can to win a single game against these guys. It's getting a lot tougher. Like I knew the writing was on the wall years ago, but people don't understand that. Okay, so I fell asleep after we did our watch party, right?
Yeah.
I woke up when G2 were winning. We're going against game 2. Guys, game 2 was really back and forth between them, and it was looking like BLG was easily able to win when I think the ADCs. Oh, it's the same. Elk got into a position on Zeri where he could have.
I didn't watch the last one. I watched the first 2 series.
Yeah, and
I fell asleep right after the Fnatic Weibo series.
And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if you have to play this hard to get a single win, like there's no way you have enough in your tank to win game 3, because you saw like how hard they had to fight and how much they had to like precisely hit these guys right where they're even weaker. It's going to be really hard. But, also during this podcast episode, we'll be talking about Cloud9. I'll be going very much in depth with them. But before I do that, I want to actually go through the tournament first, and then we do our actually, fun fact, he hasn't got a chance to see some of the last match. I haven't got a chance to see who's matching the quarters yet.
Oh no,
got a chance
I
yet.
saw all that. I saw all of it.
Yeah.
I saw the G2 match. I just didn't watch it live. I went to sleep right after Fnatic
Yeah.
Rainbow at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, yeah, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, I was watching it on the computer. I was just trying to go to sleep, and I was like, all right, cool, Fnatic. This is so trash. I just it's just so disgusting watching these guys like, oh yeah, you could probably do it. It's like that black guy where his mouth is just dropping each picture. Yeah. It's just like, holy crap, man. So I know there's a lot for us to recap, and we're gonna go down it one by one. And I'm gonna save the Cloud9 portion toward the latter half of the show, because that I'm gonna clip out of this episode and make that into an actual video. So let's start here. Okay, so the last time we talked to you guys, we were at Team Liquid facing GAM, actually. Okay, and Chaz was like, "There's no way Team Liquid lose to GAM, right?" Yeah, that happened. Team Liquid actually lost to GAM. Honestly, it was I don't even know what to say, because when you're looking at GAM and you're looking at how just Team Liquid are, I mean, Team Liquid, they came in to the tournament. They had a really interesting game against T1 when the tournament first started. And then when they faced off up against GAM, because they ended up losing to T1, they lost to NRG, and then when they had basically one more shot to keep their tournament, alive for themselves, they had to face off against GAM. And you really saw in the GAM series that this team was just so, not just mentally done, just so completely inept at anything, honestly. Yep. Like, I knew going in they'd be really terrible, but this is just levels of gameplay that I just never could even fathom in my brain, right? So, man, what was that meme? My standards were low, but holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So, going into Worlds 2023, we knew that Summit and PO6 were going to be their best players. We also said that if they literally do not carry them, they're going to be doing nothing, obviously. Yeah. Now, in the tournament, Summit also played extremely bad. So even if he's their best player, which he very clearly could be debatably as one of the first or second best players based off how PO6 performance was, one of their best players of the team played like absolute shit. So literally, one of the best players is not playing good. That means they're already even worse off than we thought, right? Then during the GAM series, I mean, there were so many mistakes. I mean, the biggest one and the biggest thing that's I know it's on everyone's mind is PO6 gets Kindred, one of his best champions, right? Carries the game, and then next game during the drafting phase, their coach is like, you know what? I know you just hard carried that entire game. You know what? You get to be on Sejuani. And right at that point, I saw they drafted and I went to sleep because I was like, nope, they lost. I'm done. I was like, fuck this. Like, bro, what are we doing here? And I swear, every team, most of the LCS teams, they do this. They'll get a surprise win that needs to keep them alive in a certain situation. And then guess what happens, guys? Instead of actually just doing the same thing, even though that's what you clearly should hammer in right then and there because that's your strength, they go into this other direction and then they lose completely. Like with how Cloud9 did last year when they were in the second week of Worlds last year, 2022. You know, they beat Fnatic with this certain comp, and you're thinking like, okay, just kind of do it a bit different against EDG. No, they actually reverted their whole strategy and tried something completely different. That did not work, and they got destroyed. Same thing happened with Team Liquid versus GAM. They had the best player on the team on a carry. They had to win this crucial game. Keep in mind, they had to win this game. They did win that game, and guess what ended up happening? They gave their best player a fucking carry. They gave him a tank. People say, isn't Sejuani a carry? Yes, but that's not the type of game you need to give PO6 that kind of damage. If you're going to give someone like that, a champion like that, you need to give Summit, someone like him, Sejuani. You can still play Sejuani top. Don't let people gas you guys and thinking you can't play Sejuani top still. You can play Sejuani top still. You need him to be your damage source because obviously Yeon wasn't doing that. Yeon could actually barely lane, and they're going to leave the laning part of it to get him out of laning phase to be the carry of the team. Fuck that.
Especially with Core JJ.
Core JJ's Relling gauges almost gave me AIDS. Holy shit, that guy's bad. He needs to just straight up retire. He should have just retired last year. I even said this last year. I don't know why they kept him after last year. He was bad last year. And like, I'm sorry, this is just the results you get. They went 0-4. They didn't win any games at all. They went one in. Well, technically, if you count the actual win in the best of 3, they won a game. But like, I guess through official match records, they've lost every game. It's just it was so bad watching them draft, watching them play. It was just awful. Like, how could Gam not win when you're playing that bad?
I think one thing you lost that T1 game, their confidence started crumbling, and it got worse each game. Because that was their best chance of winning. Right. Because we don't think about it. We don't like T1 might have faltered if they lose.
Right.
Because T1 loses to Gen G round 2, but it's like, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You're like, okay, yeah. I mean, they'd have to face a hard team at some point. Get it out right then and there. It's cool. They're still gonna you know in the back of your head that loss isn't gonna really hurt them. Like, you know what, we lost to a better team. Yeah, fuck it, I guess, right? There's not much you can do at that point, you know.
And it was a best of 1, right?
Yeah, it was best of 1.
Yeah, best of 1. That's me. Okay, that's me. In the best of 3, it might be a little more even.
Yeah, and also you're thinking in a best of 5 potentially when they maybe play against each other and the bracket is set up for that to happen. That could happen, you know, but. Based on how the quarterfinals are set up, they would have to face each other in the finals, actually, for that to even happen. So, and that's basically Team Liquid at Worlds 2023. You're just bad. Like, Core JJ just ran it down the whole tournament. Jan could barely lane on anything, honestly. I mean, APA, I want to say he did better than what I thought. I want to. In certain scenarios, he did better than I thought. But for the most part, I'll put to understand I'm not saying he's like new because he's been playing for a long time. This was his first Worlds after basically coming into the summer split, like what, week 5? 4? No, something like that he came in?
It was
or was it week 6? I swear he came in like week 5 or something like that.
No, it was like week 3. It was the game.
Week 3? Oh
yeah, he came in early. He came in.
So, like, this is kind of what you would expect out of him. Like, if Team Liquid want to keep him, I mean, it really depends on what Steve wants to do. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. This is what people said in the Cloud9 group. And it's like, oh, well, they'll just keep them together because they've been working on synergy. Guys, that don't mean shit to no one if you don't win anything.
It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, especially at the end of the year when there's no more events, you know? You try to work on synergy in the earliest parts of the year before the biggest event of the year for your game, obviously.
Plus, you start looking at money because after everything last year with the whole money thing,
remember the financials got revealed. Yeah,
the thing about it, and they decided not to keep a $6 million team last year.
Yeah,
and they don't keep a $6 million team. Don't get rid of a team that's a fraction of that price. I'm guessing they're a fraction of the price, right?
Right. Well, to be fair, I mean, if you're looking at how much money they spent on this roster too, I tell people, if given how much we know about the financials, the information that is available to us, I mean, it could be altered based off what they want us to know. That player walkout, people started realizing what's going on. Guys, if these guys aren't playing good, they're just getting cut. Whether you think that's right or wrong, doesn't matter. It's not. I'm not saying it's not a decision that I would personally make given each player, but if you're paying this much money and you're getting that result, people need to look at it from the owner's perspective. They don't like that, even though they might like someone, but they like each other. They hang out in content. That don't mean shit. Actually, that's 2 different things. Obviously,
content is work too, and that's the thing about it.
Yeah,
content is work.
Yeah, and plus content is built into their contract for them to do, which especially these guys don't really do as much as they should, given the money that they're actually paid. But that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I mean, Team Liquid, for the most part, the whole roster is getting blown up. I think we've all alluded to it. I really don't see any of the players staying. I'm pretty much saying a whole new roster is what they're going to have, honestly. Because like or if let's say they just keep APA, we're at least mostly getting 4 new players. I don't see PL6 staying. I don't see them keeping Summit. Jan, I mean, he's lucky if he gets to play on Dignitas next year. Core JJ, I mean, he's lucky if he have hands next year. He was playing with fucking no fingers at Worlds. But that's pretty much it for Team Liquid. I mean, they were bad in the summer split. They were pretty jank in the playoffs. This is kind of the result I expected anyway. I'm not like surprised, honestly. But GAM winning is a surprise to a certain extent. And GAM is even good. GAM is pretty bad, actually. GAM, the only reason why they didn't win that game was because they put Levi on Wukong. They just, that's what they got to do. But see, GAM's coaching staff realized, wait a minute, Levi's our best player. He needs to be on a carry. 1+1? Wait a minute. Carry, best player. Equals win. So, yeah. Team Liquid are done. All right, so the next team we got to talk about is BDS? Yeah, BDS are also done. Pretty much everything I just said about Team Liquid, it's a little bit different with BDS. I mean, they showed glimmers of strength, but it was only really in like various small moments, And then it came at a certain point where Adam was literally just their best player. And the only way for him to actually play was this. You just gave him Garen, Darius. Yeah, Garen, Darius, Olaf, or Set. Yeah, gods, actually. Now, people forget, if he wasn't on any of those champions, he actually just straight up turbo ran it down.
There was another champion he was on. He was decent. The issue is
he was decent on Jax.
Yeah. The issue is the issue with BDS. Even if they banned 3 of Adam champions, this is what happened. Shale's jungling passing was atrocious. The BDS bot lane was non-existent. LeBron was just, his positioning in team fights was just so garbage. Like that is like
Crowny was actually just, I don't even know what his...
He was their worst player, in my opinion. Him and LeBron were the 2 worst players.
Yeah, because my thing here is, I don't really know if it was... Because people can't say it was coaching, because if your player isn't really doing anything and you give him specific carry-orientated champions and they're still not carrying the game, that's not a coaching thing. That player is mentally or physically, or I don't know what's going on in his brain. He's not really able to functionally play that champion. So, like, if they're thinking he's their weakest player, they got to give him Ezreal. That's not a bad decision, though, because he can't do anything on anything else. Now, the thing is, what we know he can. You guys know what the problem is? People always bring this up every world. They're like, why is this guy who's dominating in this region, why can't they carry the same way at Worlds? Guys, they play scrims against better players and they lose a lot. That's the reason why. It's like it's the equivalent of big fish, small pond. That's literally all it is. They play here, they're really well. They go and scrim against better players. They get their shit caved in, and then that's the reason why they don't play as well. That's pretty much all it is. Now, some players can mentally bounce back and realize, wait a minute, I'm not this bad, but they are good, so let me kind of keep up with their level. And some people just crumble under it, and that's just kind of how it goes for a lot of these guys. Shio actually was getting massively jungle gapped throughout the entire tournament. I mean, he got jungle gapped by River too. Like, that's pretty bad, There were games where he got jungle gapped so hard, I was surprised he was even able to even play the game, actually. Like, if they got rid of him, I wouldn't be surprised. He was gapped so hard, guys. It was Crowny and LeBron playing as bad is one thing, but this guy getting gapped is so hard. Like, this guy was terrible in the tournament. I mean, Nook tried. I can say that Nook played better than I thought, but it's not going to get you anywhere with him. He's not it's not going to be the guy to do that for you. All right, so the next game is Cloud9 versus Fnatic. Now, I'm going to go in depth with Cloud9 later, so we'll save Cloud9. We'll go over that later. So let's go to Weibo versus Mad. So, Weibo versus Mad, okay? Weibo won. The fuck you guys expect? So it's gonna be like, well, didn't Niski get like 8 kills on Silas? It didn't matter. It's Mad. They ain't doing shit. The fact that that's how bad this team is, dude. the fact that a mid laner could be 8-0 up on another enemy mid laner, 9-0, which that's really hard to do against Eastern mid laners. That means you have to be banking on them having an actual bad day, right?
It's Chasey. Like, come on,
yeah.
son.
Remember, guys, and and this was Niski's best worlds, honestly. I think Niski played actually fairly well for them, but it doesn't matter though.
When the rest of your team's dog shit.
Yeah, I personally think if you're asking me personally, this has been Niski's best world performance. I think he did play very well, but the problem here is, imagine this, people. Imagine a world where you're 9-0 up against an enemy mid laner, Xiao, who's not a bad mid laner at all. He's, as people know, he's actually pretty good. He was getting solo killing. Niski was solo killing this guy. Just walked up, just like Niski pulled his French cock. Like, here's my cock. Can you suck this shit?
But
just ramming it down his throat.
This is the reason why they lost.
Chasey, because they're Mad Lions. That's why they lost.
Chasey was blind. El Yuri didn't give a fuck. And the bot lane is god awful. Hillsang needs to be arrested for stealing checks from Mad Lion. This motherfucker was ending the game away. Like, literally, he was kind of like, we don't want to be here in the world anymore. Please, Weibo beat us. I was like, these motherfuckers.
Like, imagine that. Playing that good in the tournament, playing that good on Silas. Guys, he literally walked into lane and just straight up solo killed him. Not once, but twice, actually. Yep. Now, that's really hard to do against Asian mid laners, as we've seen throughout these many years, right? If you can't win a game from that position when Silas is that ahead, throw your whole fucking org in the garbage. Just actually take that shit and burn it. There's nothing more that needs to be said. That team is bad. Just, I don't know how they got second and third, and I don't know how they even won a split this year. So terrible, you know? Like, obviously, Weibo bounced back and they beat them, but it was just a terrible showing from Mad Lions all the way around.
Close.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen these games before. Once the underdog team starts out strong in one game and loses that one game they started out strong in, if they lose that game, they're starting out strong, and they lose the next game because obviously it happened with Team Liquid. You lose those games, your confidence is shot, actually.
Yeah.
And ain't no way they're rebuilding their confidence at that moment in the tournament in that specific game. Like, it's not happening. Like, if you can't even win from that position, just go the fuck home, honestly.
They're 1-2. They gotta crawl and get out. And Mad Lions just sitting there, and Weibo's just got the sniper rifle right on him. Like, who would you want to will pop you around your head? And boom, Mad Lions got popped, and they were done.
Right. And the next day was DK versus Gam. Def diffed. That's all it really is. Def just beat the shit out of all of them. They were losing. Gan's balling is so bad. They were losing to fucking Kellen.
Yep.
Crazy. Yeah, Gam was trash. I was surprised they made it this far. This is, if you're looking at Gam as an org, you're probably thinking like Wang Chingchong. Yeah, this is
probably Gam's best year.
This is, yeah. Like, if you're the owner of Gam, you're like, you know what? I think I did pretty good.
we beat the LCS team, and we were able to hold our own against some of these Korean and Chinese teams. Okay, that's a step up.
You know, yeah. Like, if I'm trying
to sell my whole team to get more money. Fuck that. I'm like, hey, Team Liquid, man, you want to buy my Vietnamese team? Hey, shit. Slater's available. You could. Yo, if I'm Team Liquid, if you got two roster spots, try to buy the game bot lane, the one that smoked your bot lane. Hey, if you can't beat them, buy them.
Yeah. Hey, Golden Guardians. Hey, PSG Talon. Their contracts need buying up right now. Just saying.
Just buy the whole. Just
buy the whole team. Just buy the whole team. Just do that.
At least buy the ADCs.
And then I'm saying this right here. If you buy the whole team, you don't have to work on synergy. They've already played together.
Yeah.
Just saying. Hey, and I'll say this too. It's Artemis, who's on Team Wales, and Wako, who was on PSG Challenge. How those guys are out of the tournament and people like fucking Yon are still in it is so criminal. So bad. But
BDS or how the fuck Crowny still in the goddamn tournament. Literally, Adam willed their team out of that damn playing stage.
Wielded like they were on a wheelchair.
Yeah, just like literally 1v9 that shit. Just
well, So that was it for GAM. I mean, GAM got further than we expected, but this was a bad bet.
Just imagine this. There's a world. In this world, GAM got more wins than Team Liquid and BDS. Just think about that. What? Who the? You would? You're telling me? You telling me that Cloud9 and GAM got the same amount of wins in Worlds? Cloud9.
I think GAM got more wins than Mad Lions too.
No, Mad Lions and GAM both had one win.
They did?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, you're right.
Cloud9, Mad Lions, and GAM. Yep. Who? You would have told me in the world that the two teams that would have got eliminated first would have been Team Liquid and BDS. I would have been like, okay. But then you would have told me that GAM was the one knocking out Team Liquid. I'm like, nah, bro, that ain't it. Really?
And keep in mind these people too. Team Liquid and BDS went 0-4 drop.
BDS literally their last one was against PSG. And I think PSG might have better competition.
I'm just being honest here. If PSG and Team Liquid face, PSG probably beats them too.
Yeah.
It sucked so bad because you look back in the playing stage this year and you're like, they were probably a legit team, honestly.
Well, they were a legit team. It was BDS losing the whale of fucking everything up. And it was like, it was literally Adam. Adam went from being labeled one of the worst players on the team to being the best player, and it's not even close. You're just sitting there like, what the hell is going on? The summer split must have messed up BDS's mind because this team don't work. You gotta just blow this team up too. I keep Adam, and I might keep Duck, and I get rid of everybody else and start all over because this is not it. This is not it. And when it comes to Mad Lions,
rumor, guys. As you know, I'm gonna be doing my off-season news videos coming very soon. The rumor here is they heard it from the top of the org. You know, the people that run the org is they all got to start looking for other jobs. Basically, let's just put it this way. After they lost to Weibo, they were informed that they should start looking for other opportunities of employment.
All five. Oh shit! Okay.
Not just for players, coaching staff too.
Oh damn! Woo! That's me. Okay, that's me.
You know that guy Mac? Mac's been there forever. They're even like, Mac, you got to get the fuck out. I'm like, Mac's got to leave too.
Sometimes that happens. Sometimes when you got a team that's supposed to be as good as this, because Hillsing's been in the Worlds before as well as El Yoya.
Yeah.
Chasey, I don't know about him.
Chasey's been to Worlds. No, everyone except Chasey's been to Worlds, multiple varying degrees of success. Like, if you look at this roster on paper, actually, we should do a separate video on them later on.
Yeah, we definitely should.
Yeah, because we're going to do one about Cloud9 for sure. Okay, so we'll do Mad Lions and Cloud9. And then, so KT lost to LNG. I'm being honest here. Okay. And this is how the format is bad, too, on certain issues, right? So KT has had to face, guys, let me just peep you guys this right here. They have faced BLG, KT's faced DK, Weibo, and LNG. KT has quite literally played what is perceived as all the best teams at the event, minus Damwon. Damwon was supposed to be like this dark horse team where if they got it together with the players that they had, then they could have did something, right? That was KT's run. They faced every team that was perceived just as good as them, if not better, right? And they lost to BLG and LNG, actually.
Yep.
The only ones they beat were Weibo and DK. So even in that series, KT, because it was really close, but the game that LNG won against them, they like really handily destroyed them.
Yeah.
That was really scary. Like, but the game that KT won, it looked like it was a back and forth game. So after that, we had NRG versus G2, NA versus EU, a classic. And me and Chaz were watching this game, and I watched that draft, and I was like, and I watched how they play, and I was like, dude, we're going to sleep.
G2 shit the bed.
And I will say this here, NRG played really well. I'm not taking credit away from them. They played really well. But it was like, dude, what Mickey X, who's supposed to be their best player, I don't know what happened with him in scrims. Dude, he was running it hard.
Because Hassan was getting caught out. You saw what fuck Hassan was doing?
Did you?
Hassan
We saw the same
called
bot
out.
lane. People, did we see the same bot lane trade where they chose to fight a Tom Kench with great health, a Senna with half her health when they had like 20? I was like, bro, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. If my support does that, I'm reporting you to Riot headquarters. You need to go to jail.
Yeah, dude, it was a diss.
They were fighting 2v2s. They knew they couldn't win. The Belveth pick in game one was so bad.
BB was getting out.
Broken Bill was losing to Dokla. Big Dokes.
NRG literally figured out what G2 did. It just did the opposite. It just beat them. I was like, what?
And this is what I mentioned in the episode we did before this one was Yike, just like with Blab at this tournament, invisible. They don't know how to process how to be aggressive, apparently, at international events.
I'll give that excuse to Yike, not Blabber, because Blabber.
Well, this is Yike's first. Before. Yeah, this is
that's why I'm like, okay, Yike's gonna have to learn from this. Blabber, that's a whole other story.
Because if you're looking at their team, even if you watch the games against BLG today,
yeah,
Yike himself, same issues he's had all tournament. Where in the game he is too aggressive, they lose. Actually,
they lose because he's doing well on Belveth, but it's like.
But he's not getting anything done. The thing is, you can have a lot of farm as a jungler, but if you're not getting anything done, which is getting objectives, ganks,
you get
nothing.
Dude, can't keep it 100 with you, man.
No. Fuck you.
Cass might have to go.
You think they would ever replace him?
I don't think they'll ever replace him, but they might need to consider doing it.
Dude, they would probably for sure replace Yike over him first.
I think that would be a good option too, but they need to find.
But I don't disagree with you because Caps has
that Caps and
Yike's synergy is bad. Caps always had bad synergy with his jungler. Even when he had Broxa, Yankos, Yankos Broxa for a long time.
I don't know what it is because Caps' synergy with BB's good because go watch that content. Caps and Yikes' synergy is just it's not there. It's not there because it's like being a part of a group project and the teacher puts you with the one person you know you can't get along with or you just don't fit with because they try to get everyone. Well, sometimes you just don't fit with somebody. I had to learn that as a kid. Sometimes you just in the kitchen.
Some people just don't click. That's how it works. Yeah,
I had to learn that the hard way. It was
and their synergy was really bad. I mean, it was bad pretty much the entire year. But the holes only got exposed during the international events, and you guys really saw it in the NRG series, and you really saw it from the BLG series today. Like, it's not even that he's not even warding for Caps; he's basically just leaving Caps without anything, actually. Yep. And then Caps is not even roaming with Yike to help him invade at all. Right, and then because people don't understand the reason why you invade sometimes the jungler is because you know your mid laner. It's like let's say you're playing Orianna against Syndra, you have a put. You know Orianna can push you in with their ball. Yeah. So then priority would say, okay, as a mid laner, I can come help this guy because I have the push in lane. That happened with many champions this year, and they did not have good synergy at all. Whether it be if maybe Caps doesn't understand how he wants to play out a situation, so they don't do it. Or Yike feels like, hey, I don't know if my mid laner is going to help me, so I'm basically just going to have to coin flip this situation and see how it goes. Like, it was bad. And then, guys, if their best player, which Mickey X, is having a really off day, and he had 2 back-to-back off days.
Back-to-back off days. He's out there trying to cover up the issues Hasama's getting exposed.
Hansama, who started off the tournament pretty strong, just nosedive.
It was that G2. It was that Gen loss. It was Gen G.
Yeah, it was that Gen G loss. Yeah,
because it was like, oh shit, what the fuck do we do now?
The same way at MSI too. The Gen G loss.
Yeah,
and I told people this happens to them a lot at international events.
But I think the Worlds wasn't worth because it was the NRG. That one put a spotlight on them that they didn't want. Because you got Power Fox thinking, oh yeah, we're exposed and we're this. It was like every time he talks, I start to hate him a little more.
Oh my god!
I know it's good that you're confident that you win, but it's the words he said that make me not like him. It's like it's hoping energy just gets 3-0 and get kicked the fuck out, just boot it out. It was like, and you're looking at G2, you're like, what the fuck happened?
Because I know people are going to be like, well, shouldn't they replace the coach? I think Dylan is a great coach.
Honestly.
Honestly.
I think Dylan did was best he could. Because
Have you actually
of
heard that
course I
guy
saw
talk?
Reddit. Of course I saw
Yeah.
Reddit and they was
Why
like,
do you go there? Why do you go there? Reddit is cancer.
I go to Reddit for another thing, and then my League of Legends thing pops up right behind it. It was like
I'll go to
they said
Reddit, dude. I have Reddit on my phone, and I'll go there for like the first 2 comments after a thread. I'm like, nope, out. Next app.
This is what they say. If they had to replace one person, they said they need to be Captain Yank. If they could, I'll find a way to try to get El Yori on the team. I was like, you sure about that? I was like, I don't know about now. El Yori's confidence kind of fucked. Like, I mean, he might do better on a new team. Like, that happens.
And he didn't really want to be here this year either. The org itself didn't really want to keep him either.
And that's the thing was bad too. Like, Bad got lucky in the spring. They got lucky in the spring because G2 just like, fuck it. We're still going to Amazon anyway. Right. And I think G2. Did G2 really have the easier round? But because both of them got stuck with Chinese teams, it was just
arguably okay. So G2.
No, sorry. It was Korean teams.
Yeah. So G2 faced DK, Weibo, Gen G, and NRG, and then BLG. The only perceived easy match there is just NRG, and they lost that one. And you're thinking to yourself, once they lost to NRG, you kind of knew like, oh, dude, you're fucked. You only can be matched up against an LC or an LPL team at that point. Potentially.
No, you be matched against anybody. The issue is once you saw the 2 Korean teams go against each other, you're like,
yeah, that's the writing on the wall right there.
I was hoping, please, let's get Fnatic, and then they got. As soon as I saw Fnatic get
right,
I was like, oh fuck, G2 done. As
soon as
I saw Fnatic wave, I was like, oh, Europe's done. Oh, Europe's done.
If anyone doesn't remember, you're looking at the drafts. So basically, Detonation Focus Me brought this out, but obviously they're trash.
But no one's paying attention to DFM.
I have to give credit that they did bring it out first, though.
What? Yeah, I know. Of course, credit, but ain't nobody paying attention to that. And
yeah, because that's the thing.
But don't forget, Japan played on a patch. Like they played on the patch right before Senna and Tom Catcher good. Cause that was the thing too. Because I remember that bot lane combo was great. The issue is Tom Catcher. People think Tom Catcher because you said Tom Catcher is easy to learn. No, he's not, because he's easy to understand how to play. He is not easy. He's not easy to play because you gotta learn how to do the autos, they click. Sometimes the alt doesn't work because you did auto enough times. You're like, fuck. And then you got to auto enough times and then click the alt right after you auto enough times when you get the stacks. It's not easy because that's a lot of mental memory. That's like tier list. That's like Lost Box.
Someone told me Chillman Mints was an easy strategy to learn.
No, it's an easy one to watch and understand, but it's like, you know.
So in this game, people saw DFM bring out Senna and Tom Kench. Obviously, they're terrible, so they didn't play it well. And then I saw NRG bring it, and I was like, you know what? If you have a bad bot lane, that can cover all your bad bot lane's weaknesses. Not only do you have self-peel, you can heal your team. I mean, Tom Kench is really tanky, even though he's is that a support? Yeah. I guess under Riot's rules, that is a support. So you have Senna, Tom Kench, and G2's bot lane is Kai'Sa and Rel. And as everyone knows, because I've been saying this ever since we started talking about Worlds this year on this season 9 of the show, I think the Kai'Sa pick is so overrated. It's so bad. Like, honestly, Jinx, Zeri, Sivir, so much more useful right now. Literally, guys, if you pick Kai'Sa in a comp like he did, like Dylan did, into NRG, it's worthless. It cannot do anything. Okay, there's very specific comps she can do very well in and into against, but I think the priority for her as a champion should be much lower going into quarters. I think if I have the chance, I'm taking Jinx, Zeri, Aphelios. I'll take Sivir.
I think into that first game, I probably would have took Jinx.
Yeah,
I would take Jinx because of the long. Because Aphelios kind of you gotta want to be close in attack.
Yeah. And
I think that Super Mega Death Rocket with Jake would have been a perfect counter. Definitely for both of that, or at least Senna. Plus Senna heals, right?
Yes, she does. She hosts her with a Q. Yeah.
That's why it makes it a lot harder.
It's gonna make it a lot harder against Tom Kench because he has great health. She heals you constantly, and she can snare you from a distance. He licks you.
Licks you. He could was a flake right in the middle of a team fight, lick, and then all.
He could also get 4-man knockups too. If he goes in, you're in a team fight. He just 4-man knocks up people. Kari cancels all their animations too.
That he could all pick up his old teammate for protection or pick up. It's one of those things where it was like no one saw it coming. It was like it caught G2 completely off guard. And of course, NRG would be the team to do that because they can't beat any team straight up. Well, they
have to do that cheese shit.
They are CLG. They are kind of logic. Whatever you think is the norm, they're going to do the opposite.
Yeah,
NRG caught the right team at the wrong time. It was like, I still think G2 is better. I don't like.
I'm going to say this.
I think NRG played a better series, but I think G2 is just still better.
I will say this. That game that G2 played against BLG, that second one, I mean, if anyone thinks NRG is pulling on any level of that, you're insane.
Oh, God, no.
Like, people don't understand how that Weibo game, G2 played against Weibo like a week ago, is NRG playing that level. Because you understand, to beat some of these guys, you would play on literally, that has to be your level, not even just consistently. Almost pretty much the whole year, right? And when you're looking at NRG, what I was looking at that they did do very well was, I think contracts, I think most of them this tournament have stepped up. The problem here with NRG,
they all stepped up. Yeah.
I think the problem here with NRG is, I forgot, maybe I'm just messing my brain up too much these days with how much crack I'm doing. So I forgot. When they're facing against G12, I was like, wait a minute, because I said this during the summer split. If they're playing up against a better team than them, they do very well randomly, right? I forgot they have the better team buff. They'll play better against people better than them and shit against shit teams. Guys, they actually they were throwing against Mad Lions pretty hard. Remember that?
Yep.
So they got destroyed by Weibo, which is expected. They were throwing against Mad Lions, and they win against G2.
Yeah.
If this effect works on whoever they're facing off against next, I'm actually just going to be like, this might be the best League of Legends team ever. Because that's just such bullshit.
And they got Weibo. That's me. They got the easiest Chinese team. There's 4 Chinese teams.
Yeah.
And the one good thing about it, they made sure all 4 Chinese teams had different opponents.
Thank God.
There's a good chance all 4 LPL teams. And there's a good. I'm not saying they will.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, I think
so
I got 3 of them making out. I got T1.
Yeah, we'll do our pick'ems when we preview the matches after this. So but congratulations to NRG. They're the only Western team to make it out of the Swiss stage. They did step up when it mattered. I mean, that's all everyone's gonna really, really remember. But I will say, if they lose 3-0 in the next round, I'm not gonna be surprised. Am I gonna predict them? No, because
I don't think Weibo's gonna be.
Chaz is gonna predict them. Watch, he'll tell me right now that Weibo's gonna win, but on his pick'em, so he's gonna pick NRG.
Oh no! Trust me, my pick'ems. Oh, you're gonna laugh at one of my pick'ems. Woo, you're gonna laugh.
And the next game was T1 versus BLG. Honestly,
when I saw that match, I was like, "Fuck!" And God damn it, T1. But in the back of my mind, I chose BLG. But in the back of my mind, I knew T1 was going to 2-0 this. I was like, T1 was going to 2-0 this, and they're going to expose. And they exposed BLG. The longer the game goes, I don't know.
It's really weird, man, because the first game they did really well in. Zeus getting solo kills. I mean, like a lot. They have been playing a lot better. They let
that game go a little too long, and T1 found the win. It's the same thing.
It was the second game that was concerning to me. So like, Zeus can't play like a few champions, but I'm saying when Zeus is playing well, he's playing very well. Zeus cannot play Gragas. That guy stinks as Gragas.
Oh no,
he's never give that guy Gragas again. That guy was terrible to watch. Oh, and BLG, the reason that oh my God, the reason why BLG has a weakness. I think the only real weakness they do have, or one of the few ones they do have, is Bin. If Bin is not having a good game, or he's not having an impactful game, they do look a bit worse.
Yeah.
Or when Yagao gets put far behind, they are not as strong.
I'm gonna tell you the weakness. I'm gonna tell you the weakness about BLG. Wei was he had no impact.
Wei's no, that's Zun. Wei's on Weibo.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Zun was well too far behind.
Yeah,
well too far behind. Oh, I'm talking about Weibo and way later. That's a whole other situation. I'm gonna talk about that in a bit. Zun fell behind. Elkin on when they're on, no pun intended on. Oh, when they're on, they're on, but when they're off, oh my god, it's Elk only do so much, but with his support every team fight, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And it Ben's out here getting shredded right through. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be a quick match. In that game too, Older finally woke up. I was like,
he had a great game on Jinx. That's why I said people have been underrating Jinx on this patch in this meta. And I was like, someone's gonna pull it out and win with it. And they're gonna be like, oh well, she was always this good. It's like, bro, come on, man.
Oh no, there was a lot of comp. The issue is that Jinx. The issue is that it's the same thing they try to do. Crisis. Jinx don't go to every comp. Jinx goes into a comp where it's a lot of CC where Jinx could just stay from behind. Super Mega Death Rocket get like a 4 or 5 hit, and then the other people, because Jinx don't need a lot of kills. You get Jinx 2 or 3 kills, it's a wrap. Because that Super Mega Death Rocket is gonna, if they get low enough.
Remember her side laning too. Like she can take turrets really fast too. So not only do you, if you are ahead, you can also just basically end the game if you put her in a side lane with your support or your jungler. You can just take down a few turrets too.
Side lane is crazy. It's like, boom, okay. She takes out a tower by herself. All right, this like the only thing with Jinx is you gotta make sure that your passing great because Jinx gets caught out and she's gone.
Like unless you don't. The thing that's skillful with Jinx is throwing out your chompers. That way you could stop someone from engaging on you because people will like throw them very far away. Like you can place them closer to you. But BLG ended up losing to T1. Like I told people this. I was never selling my T1 stocks. I was never selling them. I never sell them at Worlds of Faker. Ever.
But I did not want T1 versus BLG. I didn't want that, but they ended up still.
It ended up panning out. It ended up panning out at the cost of another team.
Yeah, I literally BLG faced 2 of my teams, and one of them unfortunately had to get knocked out because fucking Jesus that. Oh,
and now we have round 5. So round 5 is KT DK. We watched this whole series live, and
I saw that. I was rooting for D plus. Part of my heart was my brain knew KT was going to win, but my heart was saying, "Come on, Def, you got this." But I can see the frustration of Def. He's done with this team. He's done with these players. Showmaker looked like he don't care.
Yeah.
If they said at the beginning of the year that he didn't have the passion to play,
they were running it so hard. They were running it so hard last night, guys. I want to show you guys how bad this was. This was levels of bad.
Kelly needs to be executed for the amount of robbery he has committed to D plus. He needs to be executed on the spot. I'm not advocating for death. I'm just saying this motherfucker needs to be he
needs to be unemployed going into next year.
He needs to be unemployed immediately. Like LCS and teams don't call.
Oh, you know they are. They're like, oh, he was a top 8 at Worlds.
Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't watch. If Cordelia decides to leave or retire, T Liggins will be like, oh, Kelly. Nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself.
All right, so I want to show you guys just how bad this was terrible. God, watching this actually straight up almost gave me a stroke. So, game 1, KT essentially give like 6 kills early on. The game is like literally 6-0. DK is also dragon stacking as well. Okay, so then the game goes and it goes until a dragon fight actually So it's after this one. So yeah, it goes to a Baron fight. And right here, when they flip this series is over. I just don't know how this could even happen. So Keen is playing Rise Top, which might be a nice fringe pick moving forward now against Rumble. Obviously, he could snare Rumble with his W. He could push the wave almost just like Rumble. So you have basically, it's not really a lane counter in like beating you sense. It's more like a lane neutralizing counter where as long as he doesn't let Rumble get ahead, Rise is going to be much more effective later on in the game. He can not only split push better, he can also one-shot you as well. So it was nice on KT to pull that out. And right there, BDD getting a 4-man knockback with his Shurima shuffle. And you're also looking at Deft just being alone on Aphelios. But how did this start off? Oh, because DK have no idea they're going to get flanked by BDD, who's right there in front of them, 2 feet away. So right here, this Baron call it's actually pretty bad if you're really looking at it. They weren't really in a position to take Baron. They just kind of only did it because they killed Cuz. I don't really get it what is with teams and just flipping Baron randomly just because you think you can do it. Why not push turrets down? Why not push the waves? Then go back and take Baron when the map is much more in an advantageous position for you. KT beat them right there in that Baron fight. Then KT like, you know what? I think we can start winning the game now. Even though they've literally been losing the entire game before that. They're like, what the hell? And then obviously they cannot let DK have this because the DK are drag stacking. Then right here, Cuz is going behind them. Cuz is looking, he's going to steal the Elder Drake, which he ends up doing. He steals the Elder Drake, and so it stops their soul stacking. Kana is such a terrible Rumble. Holy crap. You remember to see what he just did there? Terrible, terrible, terrible champion select of how to use this champion, and then they just get wiped off the face of the planet. Kana is a fraud, and so is Kellen. Literally, last night we were watching this, and I was going, what the fuck am I watching? Are these guys just trying to not be here? What did you think about the series, man? Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, so what did you think about the...
Yeah.
What did you think about this series?
The KTDK, yeah, because I was listening to what you said, I was like, nah, it was... And you know the thing about it too is this shows you when you know a team well enough, you don't have to lead at the beginning of the game. It doesn't matter how you finish. It matters. It doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish. Think about it. Both games, KT were behind and killed, but towers were the same.
Man.
Towers were the same. Gold was not like think about it, they were only 1,000 gold down. You're like
gold lead never ballooned, you know? Yeah. Like once they won game 1 off the back of what DK was doing, I was like, yeah, there's just no way. Also in this game, KT did something really, really stupid. I hope this doesn't happen in a quarterfinals match. This better not happen in a deciding match in the quarterfinals too. That just could end you the entire World's tournament. Okay, so they get this really nice pick onto, I think it was Kana or Kellen. One of them, they picked off one of those Kellen. They picked off Kellen, and they ended up actually chunking out Showmaker pretty hard. Kellen's dead. He's garbage. Amy goes, I'm going to go 1v2 with Renekton and Aphelios. And no, you do not do that. Then Deft goes, wait a minute. Amy's dead? All right, cool. I can just kill all 3 of them. He probably just got a pentakill here if he saved his ult, actually. He uses a little bit too early, but he ends up getting 3 kills anyway, and the game goes back to DK, even though Canyon got caught out early in the match. I'm sitting there going like, this supposed to be top League of Legends here? Like, what is this? Like, what the fuck is all this shit? And then later on in the game, Deft ends up being like 6-0. Keen has a better game later on than he did the first part of the game. They actually really, really, really never played for Deft as well as they could have. They were leaving him open to get flanked. If your Aphelios is like 6-0 the way he does, he should never be getting touched. He should also not be getting touched if you have Jarvan, Alistar, and Renekton with enough peel and stuns and heals the way for all the utility you have. But later on in this fight, even though DK had the better way of actually winning this fight, they still weren't confident enough to actually go through with it. Also, aiming, who's had really great team fighting this entire tournament, really did have a great team fight right there. And then later on, as it goes, you have where they get Def. As you see right there, he managed to lock on to Def with the knockup and the dredge line. And then once he's dead, well, the rest of them are actually useless because their whole comp depends on Def being protected and being safe. And if he dies, it's over. Showmaker,
Exactly.
you want to see what kind of flank that guy just did? This guy probably had one of the worst flanks I've ever seen. This was terrible. This is criminal. Okay, so look at Showmaker. Okay. He immediately stopwatches. Bruh.
Instantly gets
then
burst
obviously
down.
without stopwatch, horrible stopwatch. Horrible flank angle. Like, Showmaker was playing like this the whole, and I love Showmaker, but this has been his worst year by far. Terrible gameplay this whole year, actually. Just so bad. I genuinely thought at Worlds they would potentially get it together because of competition and the how Worlds can affect certain players. But no, these guys have been playing. They were bad for the most part. I don't think any Korean fan would have wanted these guys advancing anyway. They were pretty bad for the most part. They never really actually played good, for being honest here. Most of the games were pretty jank to begin with, honestly.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank God this is not going to be a team next year because this was horrible to look at, honestly. But I genuinely thought they would actually do well. But sometimes you win some, you lose some. Yeah, sometimes you can't predict them all. But I'm curious to see if Deft will stay on the roster. Actually, curious to see what's going to happen with this team. Will they keep Showmaker and Canyon, or will they, pivot to another direction? What they need to do to pivot to another direction is get rid of Kana and Kellen. Those guys are terrible. Those guys are actually just straight up giga shit.
If I'm D+, I'm probably getting rid of 4 out of 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The only person I might keep is
I'm pretty sure they would keep Canyon, honestly, right?
Oh, the only person I would keep is Deft.
Oh yeah.
I would. Showmaker has looked to me that he doesn't want to play League of Legends anymore. He doesn't. Yeah. When that article came out saying that he has debated his love for League of Legends, I'd have been like, okay, nope, you gotta go.
Right.
Because it shows now, like, oh my god, this person does not want to play League of Legends. What the? It's like, okay, he's out. Kellen, you're gone. Nope. Kane. Yeah. I might keep. Who you say keep Canyon?
What, they keep Canyon? Oof.
Maybe that's a maybe.
That's a hard maybe right there. Yeah.
Kana's a no. That's a no. You gotta get rid of him. Canyon's a 50-50. If Def wants to stay,
I think Showmaker just retires. If I'm being honest here,
he needs to retire. He already won Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, that's the pinnacle of winning in League of Legends, is just getting the Summoner's Cup. Honestly,
yeah, he already got Worlds. That's me. I would retire after that.
Well, he's won Worlds. He's won multiple LCK titles back when he was in his prime. He won 3 of them, which is really hard to do, honestly. He won 3 LCK titles. He's won Worlds. I mean, if he did retire, I'd be like, you know what? I had a pretty good fucking career, actually.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it when it comes to the Worlds 2023 Swiss stage. We're like, off Fnatic. Fnatic lost to Weibo. I mean, they had a really great first game against Weibo, but they started throwing hard, like very hard. Like Trimby's brain just absolutely just fucking collapsed.
Honestly. They caught Weibo off guard, and then boom. And then
people saw the next game how it's how a team could sometimes have a really good strong start but a horrible finish. They started out game 1 really amazing against them, but games 2 and 3, those were pretty bad from them. Noah, who did start playing better after the Cloud9 series, actually couldn't do anything in that game, honestly. Oh, that's what really screwed them too. Guys, you can't make this shit up with some of these teams. The drafting has been absolute giga shit.
Drafting for Europe, it has been the worst I've ever seen.
I want to show you guys how bad it was in that Weibo Fnatic game, and this is how I knew they lost. I knew they lost based off this drafting pick. So in game 3, and this is what people need to do more. If you have actual counters that you can utilize to win games, pull them out. Weibo, this was a legit strategy to do. You pick Caitlyn, actually, because Caitlyn is a very, very good laning phase against champions like Aphelios, champions like Senna, champions like Jinx, champions like Kai'Sa. You pick Kai'Sa into Caitlyn, you're about to go 0-10, honestly. Good luck trying to get into her. So Fnatic's last draft of the year, they gave Oscarinen, Olaf, he likes to play that. You had Sejuani, Silas, Aphelios, Alistar, right? Okay, so Weibo ended up giving the Shy, Cassante. Weibo had Maokai, Shahu had Azir, Light had Caitlyn, and Crisp had Lux. So they ended up getting countered with Caitlyn and Lux. Yeah, that's just straight up bot lane counter. Caitlyn and Lux, as you saw in the game, that's how that would look. There's no way for them to get in. Caitlyn traps, Lux snares, Maokai W's, Maokai ult actually. The comp just was straight up out Giga drafted. What a terrible fucking draft. After the drafting in general, this tournament has been extremely bad. The priorities on certain champions, the lane rotations of not the rotations of who you're banning out is just absolutely just so fucking bad, man. It's so disgusting watching some of these guys draft. Especially against the best teams in the world. So also Asian teams too. Asian teams also very, very badly drafting as well, because this is what they ended up with. So they chose to leave their last pick for Trimby and Noah. So that's what they got, right? So Fnatic themselves took out Nico, Rumble, Renata, Callista, and Jinx. Bruh.
They could have just got Jinx.
That could just been a comp in and of itself. There's a pretty good comp. My mom, just getting a jungler in there actually. And they picked Silas, and Silas's only real ult he can really steal that's beneficial is just Azir's or Maokai's. I mean, this is a really shit draft, and really good on Weibo to dig into their bag of tricks and find that counter, actually. I enjoyed it. All right, so that covers the Swiss stage for Worlds 2023. All right, man. Ready to see? All right, guys. You guys ready for the quarterfinal matches? Because I've not seen them yet. So the first one is Gen G versus BLG, NRG versus Weibo, JDG versus KT, and then LNG versus T1. I like it.
Yep.
I like it a lot.
Definitely.
The worst case scenario didn't happen where we have inter-region bullshit.
And no, they actually made it. They didn't say this because, of course, you know who they have picking the picks, right?
Yeah.
Barrel.
Barrel.
Yo, they're just,
he's like,
he was cracking a little smile. He was making sure
he's on vacation,
Yeah,
All right.
What they try to imply was that they didn't want to put any of the Chinese teams against each other. That's why, and that's the thing about it too. It's like sometimes you're gonna be forced to have two teams that are from the same region go against each other. It just happens, and that's the.
And to be fair, if I had one of that happen, but the other ones were like that, then I'd be fine with it. But usually, dude, years it would be the same bullshit. And I'm like, fuck, I can understand one of the matches being like that based off like how seeding would work, but not all of them, Also, this looks like it's gonna be pretty interesting. I see there's high variance here where most of these later three matches could easily go to 5 games, but do I see them ending in the other outcome? I don't.
I'm gonna tell you this: there's only one match I got going 3-0, and it's not the team who you think it is. No, it is the team who you think it is.
Well, let's start. Well, the first match is going to be NRG versus Weibo. Does NRG get playing against that better team buff?
I say no.
I would say no.
I say this goes 5. I say
if
Weibo
NRG beats them and they go semifinals, I will get on stream and I will lick the bottom of my shoe if they actually beat Weibo.
Just make sure that you don't step the dog shit that day.
I'll make sure I do that first.
That's nasty. You go to jail for that.
I'll get Lennon on here and I'll have her just straight up degrade me and call me the N-word.
Jesus. What's wrong with you, man?
I'll give her an inward pass just for the show. No, she can't do it anyways. That'd be getting terms of service on the fucking platforms. But
the only way she get an inward pass is if she let me hit it first.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'll tell Lennon, hey, if NRG be Weibo, I'll let Chaz just lick your ass for like 3 minutes, just clean you out.
He's stupid.
And guys, I'm saying I predicted this all year with them. Do they get that better team buff against Weibo? But they played against Weibo before, and Weibo handily ran them down pretty hard. But to be fair, it was a best of one. So I don't know. I'm going to say Weibo win because I really could give two shits if they win, honestly. My teams are all out except for one.
I got two teams left. And they can't face each other until the finals. Even though I kind of do root for JDG, I kind of like BLG. I don't know. I like BLG a little more. I got Weibo 3-2 over NRG. This is literally flip a coin and let's see who throws harder. Game 5.
For me, NRG versus Weibo, I'm saying Weibo win 3-0. Because if I doubt NRG enough, I think they'll win.
I say 3-2 Weibo.
You know what's crazy, man? What if everyone just doubts them so hard they just actually play good? Now, to be fair, guys, I don't want to see stomps. I really, truly don't.
What if it's NRG JDG in the finals? The JDG just absolutely smokes them. It's like JDG
fastest world's finals ever.
Imagine JDG's two toughest matchups or JDG or. We'll talk about JDG versus KT in a minute, but what if it's JDG versus NRG in the finals? And like NRG finds a way to beat Weibo, and then they go against either Genji or BLG, beats them 3-2. Like, I swear to God, if NRG beats Genji, I don't know, man. I'll fly out to California and put my face in Leonard's mom's butt for like 15 minutes.
God, and let me put my face in your ass for 15 minutes, right?
No, you'll put your face in Carla's butt about that.
She said some interesting things to me before, but we'll say those off stream or off the show.
Hell yeah, man! But you gotta let me know what she said. What the fuck?
No, you crazy?
Yes, nigga. You can't.
We got grandmas listening to this show right now.
We'll say after. Hey, shit. If the grandma young enough, she cute. She can get this dick. Talking about.
Oh my God. Okay. Next game is you have a rematch of the MSI 2023 lower bracket, which is Genji versus BLG. Last time BLG handily destroyed them pretty hard.
I think Genji got better since then.
Yeah.
I think Genji got better, BLG got worse.
I'll say BLG is kind of just like the same, except we kind of know their weaknesses now.
That's why I say they got worse.
Oh, yeah. This is gonna be like Damwon's last year's series. I think Genji win 3-2. I think it's gonna be just as close as that Damwon series we had against Genji last year.
I'm gonna go BLG 3-2.
Go fuck yourself.
I told you that was the pick. I think BLG goes 3-2. I wouldn't be surprised, but I won't be surprised. I'm gonna tell you this. I will not be surprised if Genji 3-0.
I'm predicting Genji gonna go all the way. I don't pretty much say it's Copium, but hey, Genji are winning it this year against JDG.
I got Genji winning. To me,
my pick'em showed it too. Actually,
my pick'em got JDG winning. Like,
you know what? When I win something when I get a special thing from Riot because I made the Genji prediction. I've been so close to my predictions for years.
Dude, I was so close last year. That one hurt.
Right.
And the fucking thing about it, if I win, I would have been in the top 10% of all the voters.
Really?
Literally, yeah.
Because of your other predictions too.
That was the only one. That and like two other ones I got wrong. That was the main one I got wrong. Everyone else was like, who got out of like the bracket stage and all that bullshit.
Oh, I forgot. I might as well show you guys this really quickly. So we'll do the quarterfinals and we'll go through my other pick'em. So I have Weibo winning 3-0. I have Genji winning 3-2. This is going to be.
I picked BLG for that one.
Mark my words. This is just as close as the Damwon series last year. I hope. Remember, I could be wrong. I can't be wrong here.
Okay, now we're gonna talk about JDG versus KT. I got JDG winning 3-1.
This team just doesn't lose best of series.
I'm gonna say this: JDG's gonna win 3-1. KT's gonna have one lucky game 3, and then JDG's gonna smuggle game 4.
Honestly, these last three, if all these last 3 series went to 5 games, I'm actually not surprised at all. They're actually all really strong, honestly.
Oh yeah. JDG to me is the strongest team.
The reason why I want JDG to get to the finals against Genji is because Ruler can face off against Genji.
Oh, gee. Okay.
I needs that. I needs to clap Ruler in the finals, even though this team just doesn't lose best of series ever.
The only sad part about it is that T1 and JDG won't be able to go to the finals against each other. It'll be That might be the sad part that depending on how NRG does, JDG T1 might be the final in the semifinals.
Yeah, you're right. Because based off how it goes, if Weibo win and BLG win, no, hold on, give me a second. Let me get the bracket here because I'm pretty sure you're right. Like the only way that Gen G could face T1 is like in the next round potentially, right?
No, the only way Gen G and T1 could face are in the finals.
Yes. What a crazy year that would be! Imagine what a year that would be if they featured in World's Finals too.
What if Gen G just beats them all year, but then T1 beats them in the finals? Chovy just.
I would actually break down on stream. I
would literally do backflips butt naked on stream.
Damn, and with your shit coming out.
What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you, nigga? What is wrong?
Oh shit!
Okay, get your head checked, nigga. You was.
Oh my god, I'm drunk. Holy shit! So next match, this is really hard, man.
I got T1.
I'm picking LNG. This is a really strong team. I do want T1 to win too.
I want them
both to win.
Nigga, stick with LG. Stick with your fucking.
I want both of them to win.
Nah, motherfucker. You said LG.
They should win. LG should win.
I think T1.
Oh, fuck you. I want your team out. I need you. I need your teams out. They've had enough play time at this tournament.
Nigga,
already.
Your team about to get fucking smoked by NRG. Watch, NRG's gonna beat Weibo, then they're gonna smoke Gen G. They're gonna be in the finals, get smoked by JDG.
Yeah, and Lennon's gonna appear butt naked in my fucking house right now. What the fuck are you? What kind of crack you on?
She's about to appear butt naked. I'm like, dick.
Me too.
What? Why are you gay? What is wrong with you, man?
Oh god, they're probably parents. If you're watching this, hopefully your kids have headphones on.
No, hopefully your kid ain't watching this degenerate shit.
What do you mean degenerate? Crazy,
nigga. This is degenerate, nigga.
Oh yeah, you're right. So if Gen G and Weibo go, it would be Korea LCK. Sorry, Korea.
There's
Chinese
a good
next
chance
round
there
too.
might be a Korean LCK. There's a good chance it can either be all Korea or all LCK.
Fuck.
No, I mean all LCK or all LPL.
So if the matches play out the way people potentially think, we could have what you said, and we could also have a world where NRG makes a run to the finals, which is not going to happen at all. Because if they somehow get past all these teams and make a miracle run, then we know this world's with booty.
What if they win the finals? What if they beat JDG?
Burn the whole world to the ground. Burn his tournament. Do we just accept that they're probably the best LCS team ever at that point? Oh god, I don't want that. Fuck. Because then, like, nothing else in the conversation would. Because this dude, let's say if NRG make it to semis, let's say they randomly beat Weibo. That means they'd have as many semis as Cloud9 does. Oh, and then you really can't argue in those conversations. You're like, hey, they did win. Like, they did get there. You know?
Yeah, and they got to start saying Ignar might be the best support in the world. Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Big dokes out here. Got Palafox to fucking G at the MVP. Oh, fuck. Oh,
did I get my pick'ems? What did I pick? All right. Unlocked. What does this mean? Share your drop. What the fuck? My drop where? My butthole?
It's a picture. You're supposed to share that and shit. I don't know what the.
I'll do at the end of the fucking World Championship. What do I get? Oh, I got my drops. Oh, these are my drops that I got. Okay, cool.
I picked Weibo. I picked BLG. I picked JDG, and I picked T1. The reason why I'm picking BLG because I got a weird feeling. Someone's telling me do not pick.
Oh, JDG. I got this right. They weren't defeated during Swiss.
What?
Okay, so I got all these right except for D. Really? I was.
I know I got one of them wrong. I know.
I know.
No. I know. I did get the undefeated because I chose JDG. I got two wrong. Who? We both went DKG too. Oh shit!
Fuck. To be fair, we got 6 out of 8 correct.
You know the fucking thing is. Good. You know the fucking thing is. I was this close from picking Weibo. My son was telling me to pick Weibo, but I was like, I believe
they're generally not good. I was sitting there going like, fuck. But DK also were not that good.
And then G2 decided to throw the whole season away.
I had 5. I mean, you could tell based on how good Genji and JDG were, they weren't losing games to these dog shit teams.
Oh my god, that whole thing with JDG, that was not JDG.
But hey,
G2.
look at it this way: this year we got 6 out of the 8 predictions right. That's pretty good, actually, and we got the undefeated ones too.
Yup.
So I got 45 points for that.
I got 55.
How'd you get 55? The hell?
Did you pick during the players? Oh, you got both wrong.
I got my playing state prediction.
I got one right. I chose BDS.
Oh fuck.
That's why I'm 10 points ahead.
Yeah, because did I get any of these right? Oh, this can't get calculated until it's over.
Yeah, you might be ahead of me because I chose some gang shit.
If I get all these right, I'm gonna I probably not get Faker always plays well in these fucking situations anyway. Honestly,
I'll just stick to whatever pick you initially went with.
Nah, I'm not giving up on Faker. Nope. I realize it's Faker at Worlds. That ain't. Nope.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now.
Though I do believe if anyone's gonna take them out, it would have to be this team probably.
No, I think it would be JDG. I don't think it's LG. I don't got enough faith in LG.
I think JDG's playstyle does not work against T1s very well.
I don't think it works, but LG doesn't either. LG does, but the issue is it's very T1 knows how to counter it a lot better than people realize it does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like T1 knows how to do very well against the Chinese.
Like I said, the only team that could beat T1 is on the other side of the bracket. That's GG.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe NRG.
And that literally can't happen until the finals. Or I mean, hey man, NRG
and maybe NRG because they are still kind of logic gaming. Whatever you think they're going to do, they do the opposite, and it actually fucking works. There might be a world where it might be Faker versus Colin Faker in the final. I'm like, fuck this shit. Nope.
Fuck yeah. Burn this world to the ground at that point.
So I'm going to move to Korea and try to get me a date with Ollie and son.
Oh, God.
Just give me a freaking Asian chick.
All right. So this is the part of the show. We're going to clip this part out and talk about Cloud9. So everyone going to probably want my opinion about my boys.
We're talking about Cloud9 and we're talking about Bad Lions and another one, Rick.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this is gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna make sure I time it when we start. But it's really crazy how this year happened for Cloud9. And the only way to really recap it very well is to start at the very beginning, which we will do when we start the video. So also, if you guys want our market watches, we are going to be doing so on the TCG podcast, we're going to be doing tomorrow or potentially tonight, actually. We'll be clipping out a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon market watch from it. I told Chaz, since you might as well hear, he might as well get paid in some videos that are going to obviously bring some traction to his channel. He's like, how am I going to get paid? I'm like, to be fair, we could just clip out when we're talking about the market.
And per house, like, finally, MSK.
I paid the black man.
He finally came to his senses.
Did you manage to upload it actually?
I'm close.
That's a long upload too. Our videos take a minute.
It is too. Plus editing it is what I might do is just record my part and clip and record my 2 parts and just put it in front of it instead of trying to clip it.
Yeah, because the reason why I wanted to make the first one as generic as possible is because this way, even though there might be another event of Pokemon that'll happen, which is the Toronto Regionals today or started yesterday, then the information you have right then and there could still apply for a few days after that too, you know? Yeah. All right, let's talk about Cloud9. So Cloud9 started off in 2023 with Fudge, Blabber, and being inside your mom's. Oh my God. Woo! That's how you start a video. Yeah. God damn. The only girl I'm trying to be in is Lore. Man, however, put my French cock in her French asshole.
You take Lore, I'll take Shocks.
God. Oh, Lord. Did you see that clip of Shocks on Twitter? Did you not see it?
No, dude, I haven't been on Twitter all day. I have not been on Twitter all day.
It's SJO. Yeah, Ife. It's Ifre.
Yeah.
Ifre.
Yeah, that's a.
And this goes to show you how passionate she is. And she's such a, outside of being super attractive, she is just such a great talent. That's kind of girl you need in scenes like this, not weird, wacko, blue-haired ones.
Yeah.
This is the kind of quality woman we need. This is how crazy. This is when G2. Remember how they almost got a pentakill against BLG? This was her reaction.
Hello, is Nocturne hitting the fucking Nexus by himself?
God, for fuck's sake. I think they
I don't give a fuck about you, go! Just kill the Nexus! Wait, are you fucking trolling? Okay. Oh my fucking god, bro!
For what? Fuck.
That was a crazy game too. The crowd was just going absolutely insane because Detroit to fight. They had to fight really hard to get back into that game too.
Yeah. Oh, first of all, after that, I was like, oh, okay, nah, ain't nobody wife her up yet, or at least somebody's dating her, and it's like it's one of those secret relationships where, like, you know,
no, because dude, I woke up after I fell asleep and I was like, why are they in the next? It's game's over. Like they had fought hard to get in that spot they did, and multiple like flips to the point where it's like you could even lose just flipping it like right here, right now. And they're starting hitting the Nexus like, oh my god. I was like, bro, if they lose this, I'm burning my house down.
I didn't watch that till I woke up. I literally watched the first two series and went to sleep. I was like,
but it shows people that she is very passionate. She's not one of them fake e-girls where she's faking this because it's just the cool thing to do. You know, she's a great talent, and it's really awesome to see people that passionate. Also, getting the sound bites of Captain Flowers casting is just absolutely amazing too. And then, even though he's probably putting his tongue in Avali's butt too, but you know.
Everything's still messing around.
So let's talk about Cloud9. Why did Cloud9 fail at the 2023 League of Legends World Championship? But to start this off, we'd have to go back and look at Cloud9 at the beginning of 2023. So starting in 2023, the LCS Spring Split, Cloud9's roster was Fudge, Blabber, Diplex, / Menace, Berserker, and Sven. So as you guys know, they chose to keep 4/5 of the roster from the LCS 2022 summer split, and they wanted to actually keep Jensen, but Jensen's contract was really huge, and as Jack said in his what the fuck? No, wait, hold on, restart that. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna need my pimp hat. Can I get my pimp hat, dude? No.
Yeah, pimp hat.
Yeah, I'm a pimp named Slinkback. No.
Oh,
all right.
God.
Okay. Starting now. I was just kidding. I gotta entertain you guys when you guys are listening to this show too. So if you are listening to this, thank you so much. All right. So starting now. Why did Cloud9 fail at the 2023 League of Legends World Championship? And we're gonna also detail all the issues that Cloud9 had in 2023 as well. So let's start all the way at the beginning of this, which was last year during the LCS 2022 summer split. Okay, so they ended up winning that when they brought back their long-tenured mid laner, Jensen. They went to the 2022 League of Legends World Championship where they got handily destroyed, and they only won one game, which was against Fnatic. Then, going into 2023, as people already knew, Sven was actually, role swapped to support in 2022 LCS, summer, right? They actually wanted to get a brand new support, but Berserker wanted Sven to be a support because he liked playing with Sven specifically, okay? Then Jensen's contract was really huge. Jack had said in a video that they did in the offseason that they wanted to keep Jensen. They did, but, he was looking at his dollars, and it just really wasn't going to happen with what Jensen was asking for.
Yeah.
So he chose to sell Jensen to Dignitas, and Jack went and got Diplex, who was on Vitality B, which is Vitality's Academy roster, and they chose to get a Menace who had been on many teams, let's just say, in the more indie scene for League of Legends, right? So they play so the LCS 2023 spring split starts. They play Diplex first. They play him for the first 6 games.
6 games. Yeah, right. It's like first 2 weeks or first 2 to 3 weeks.
Then after that, they play a Menace. Now, context for this is they heard a Menace was toxic, right? So before they even chose to bring him on to the team, they were talking with his agent, and obviously the communication between Korean and English is hard over the phone. Blabber takes over the conversation, and he wanted to speak to Menace directly. And after what a menace says, Jack asked Blabber, "Did you want a menace?" He said yes. Okay, so they chose to put a menace in their academy roster when academy was still a thing in the LCS at the time to give him time to obviously potentially, iron out whatever kinks they thought he needed to iron out before playing on the main roster. I'm just being honest with you guys right now. They most likely always intended for a menace to be the starter, but they didn't really know how he would pan out potentially, so they put him in academy first. They end up playing a menace against Golden Guardians actually during his opening game in the LCS 2023 spring split, actually, where he played Victor. He was pretty bad on Victor. He lost the first game. The next day they play against TSM, and then Amenas actually looked pretty good. Like, looking back at spring split, he looked actually really good. And if you're looking at how his performance went, you're like, okay, they definitely made the right decision and potentially swapping them out. Now, I will say this. Diplex himself wasn't that bad, and I do think he could have been a pretty good mid laner on any LCS roster.
Oh, yeah.
Not just in spring, but just during the summer as well. But the performance difference between them, you can see why they went with the menace, right?
Yeah.
Now, another piece of context we need to understand about Cloud9 this year is the actual level of the LCS was horrible. Let me repeat that again. The actual level of the LCS was literally dog and horse shit mixed together, okay? Dog horse shit this year. Level of quality was terrible, okay? So, they go into the playoffs, right? They face off against CLG, who was still around at the time. And they looked rough against CLG. Now, CLG was the only team in the previous split to actually take Cloud9 to 5 games. So you're thinking, okay, that'll be what this series is going to look like. And it almost did, but they managed to win in one less game than they did in the summer split against CLG. Then they play up against FlyQuest, right, in the LCS 2023 spring split semifinals, okay? And they handily destroyed FlyQuest. This is also the FlyQuest that was massively having issues with Ayla and Vikla at the time. Yep. They handily destroyed them. Then it was the
Press, because Press wanted what's up. They got rid of what's up. Now Press was like, okay, and you could tell Press was losing face of his team, and that whole situation is an example of why you keep, even if someone is worse, even if someone's higher paid, sometimes you gotta keep the team while it's fresh and good.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then people also have to factor in when they beat FlyQuest. Okay, FlyQuest at that point had already had massive issues both in the game, out of the game. EG, who was also billed as to be one of the best teams in the spring split, faced off against Golden Guardians. They also lost in pretty convincing fashion. So that super team just failed right out of the playoffs.
But let's get context to the EG. Mm-hmm. Half of them had COVID, or JoJo had COVID. Then someone else got COVID. Then all of them had a quarantine, and then they all caught COVID. And then by the time they got back, they were never 100% healthy after that. Plus, JoJo was the only healthy one, but they still had a quarantine because one of the players still had COVID. And by the time they were literally falling out.
And also got to factor in, if you're quarantining like that while you also have COVID, you can't do very well in scrims because you can't really be in the same room together as well. 100 Thieves, I mean, they had issues the entire spring split.
They had issues. Their main issue was 2 rookies, was 2 vets, plus one of the vets really should have just retired after the seasons before. And Double have taken 2 years off, kind of throw everything off. And plus Closer on a new team now have to work with new players.
Right.
And it just never it gelled toward the end. Mm-hmm. And then that one top mess up at the end, literally like, okay, cool. It was like you lose 2/5 of your team in a matter of hours.
Right. And people have to look at just all these teams we're mentioning to impact their performance. So FlyQuest, who was really strong at the beginning with Winsome, traded out Winsome for Ayla, and it just looked really bad.
And then
100 Thieves, who was kind of built as like a 4th, 5th place team, they looked just their performance was so up and down during the entire split. EG, who's built as a super team, up and down performance throughout the split, but even before they had COVID,
it was
failed.
A decent performance. Decent performance, but once they got sick, it was like, oh shit, okay.
Also, not to mention Golden Guardians, who were basically just kind of rising up throughout the spring split, They
I
ended
don't
up
even
winning.
think they were write it up.
Maybe it was just all the teams with the better players were collapsing to a certain extent.
It's beat a team while they're down kind of situation. It's like a football where a team that has no business getting to the Super Bowl gets there because every other team around them is injured. Like.
And then in the playoffs of the LCS 2023 spring split, Golden Guardians beat 100 Thieves narrowly. I mean, this could have went either way. And I'm still saying this. Had 100 Thieves won that, it's a chance they make the finals run. Who knows, honestly? It was that close between them two.
If 100 Thieves still has someday over tenacity, I think they make the finals.
Very possible. Then after that, Golden Guardians beat Evil Geniuses. Then they narrowly beat FlyQuest. Okay? It literally takes Licorice playing Malphite, landing a 4-man knockup for them to even win that game 4. So they can obviously later on win game 5 to face Cloud9. Now, if you're looking at everything we just mentioned with Cloud9, there is no real actual competition in the LCS. Now, each year, each split will vary amongst that actual description. But this matters much more this year when we're talking about this specific version of Cloud9. Then, in the finals against Golden Guardians during the LCS 2023 spring split, obviously, Cloud9 are showing really bad levels of gameplay. We're having like a game 1 where they easily could be winning with their comp, but they're somehow losing with this really good early game comp, as well as this comp happens to be a really good late game comp as well. Just so happens to be the mixture of champions that they picked, right? They crawl their way back to winning game 1, lose game 2, and throughout as the games keep piling on, you're like, okay, they're clearly just the better team. They managed to win the LCS 2023 spring split. Now you have MSI 2023. They face off against BLG first, and they just get absolutely railed. It's not close whatsoever. They pretty much lose basically in 3 minutes, honestly. The same way that they lost to the Asian teams last year at Worlds. Now, the reason why people gave them a little bit more leeway then is because obviously they had just came together as a team, and you're kind of thinking like, okay, this can't really be a good team in general because they just came together. They couldn't have obviously synergized with Jensen to the rest of the team. There's reasons you could say it wouldn't have worked during last year's World, right? But then you still put in context, that's still 4 of the same players together anyway, right? Because Berserker been there the entire year, so with Fudge, and so is Blabber. So you also must consider that after they lost to BLG, they faced Golden Guardians. Now, the thing with this year's international competition, we kept having like inter-regional matches at international competition. So the only series that Cloud9 won, or the only games that they won, was against a team that they've been scrimming against, not only all spring split long, but they also faced this team 2 times in the regular season, as well as the finals as well. And throughout, you're like, wait a minute, I've seen enough to know that they're just the better team, right? So they get clapped by BLG, and they completely just get destroyed by, and they themselves destroy Golden Guardians, right? Then, because they lost to BLG, they're in the lower bracket, they have to face Gen G. And then, obviously, the Gen G series plays out just like the BLG series. They get absolutely curb stomped into the dirt. They lost in like 3 minutes, okay? So, now, the reason why I'm pinpointing MSI being the real big indicator of how badly they were going to perform the rest of the year is because people must understand 2 things if you're new to the game. For one, these guys scrim against these other guys. Now, people can debate all day long of whether or not scrimming against these guys is actually effective. But if you do scrim against them, which we know they do, and you lose as hard as they do, and you get exposed as hard as you do, then I don't know how to explain it. Like the mentality and how you think about the game just gets warped in a way where now you start doubting all of that you were good at because you got beaten this hard. Remember, guys, they literally said on interviews they were losing in like 5 minutes. Okay, it was that bad. Okay,
pretty much what it is if you get beat hard enough, you'll start doubting your own skills and be like, it's like happens all the time in Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh! When you either lose in a way where you're not used to, or you lose to somebody or a deck, or in this case a team. It's like, and sometimes that doubt lingers longer than it should, and it just sits there. You're like, oh shit, this is bad.
Then, because the reason why that matters is because in the spring split, they did end up ending first place in the regular split. Now, this was in spring split where these other teams are definitely not playing good. They're not. But when you're actually looking at their gameplay in particular, They're going for aggressive plays. I mean, Blabber's playing really aggressive. Berserker's winning all his lanes. Fudge is doing very well. You're thinking like, okay, they're going to take this momentum into MSI. And even though they're probably going to end up losing all their games, at least they'll look somewhat competitive. That did not happen in the games at all, guys. That only happened against Golden Guardians because they knew they could do it against Golden Guardians, actually.
Yeah.
So at MSI is 2023 is where I think they really, really, really got so blasted in scrims that they literally all mentally lost confidence, not just in each other, just how they even played the game. So the coaches have to basically draft in this way where it has to cover for weaknesses as well as knowing our play style is just essentially shot because these guys can't play this play style anymore, you know? So MSI 2023 is ending. The LCS 2023 summer split begins. And yes, at the end of the result, Cloud9 still ended up getting first, but now you must put in this level of context, which is a lot of those games that they won, those weren't like the same stomp games they had in spring. In spring, they were just pulling out their fucking cock and just shoving it down, right? That wasn't happening in summer. What happened in summer was that they weren't even winning a lot of these games. A lot of these games were won off the back of this team is just so much clearly worse. They're just throwing, actually. Yeah. Like Cloud9 in some of the games that they won in spring Cloud9 in some of the games they were winning in summer weren't because they were being aggressive. That only happened like against certain teams they knew they could do that against. Some of the games that they even won, or a good amount of them, in that 13-5 record that they have, a lot of that was off the back of this team is just so bad, they're not capitalizing on anything, and we could just kind of just get our way to winning because we know they're not going to challenge us at these certain moments in the game, right? So that happens, and they end up getting first place, like with spring, but it's very different between spring and summer. It's very different in the performance, obviously, okay? So then in the first round of the LCS 2023 Summers playoffs, they face off against NRG, right? It gets NRG. I'm pretty sure that was their first match.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure I'm checking that for the video. Yeah, it was right. Yeah, it was up against yes. No, sorry, it was EG.
EG, yeah.
So they play against EG, and the same thing happens. They are winning games, or they are in winning game state situations that they really shouldn't be winning in. Guys, people keep saying, oh, that's not true. Actually pay attention to the game and watch it. They are simply not in a position where they should be winning this, and they're only really winning it because these other people just can't understand how to play out of their ahead position, you know? Yep. There's like one of these games between EG and NRG where they're actually the ones being aggressive and actually ending the game. It was the EG game. I think it was game 2 they had that. But the other games, I'm not saying EG would have won because EG had their own layer of issues, okay? This just looks really bad. You can tell their play style is really getting sus here, you know? Like, are they getting really laxed? Why can't they mentally bounce back and start stomping games like it did in spring? And then after they beat EG 3-0, they face off against NRG. This NRG series looked really disgusting. Now, people got to understand, NRG has this weird effect apparently where they can really play good against like better teams but play really shit against other teams. And this was COG converted. Obviously they got bought out by NRG, and this is NRG now. And remember, NRG 2-0 Cloud9 during the split, actually. Keep in mind, NRG actually beat every better team than them 2-0. The reason why they weren't higher in the standings is because they actually lost to every shittier team. They weren't actually first. They actually would have been first. They actually had a winning record against worse teams than them.
If they would have beat the bottom 2 teams, they would have been 15-3. They could have been 15-3.
Right.
Even 13-5. Because 100 Seeds always plays, or they always play each other tough. It was like when NRG was better, 100 Seeds would beat them. But flip the script, but it's like the issue is you're dropping easy games to Dig It and IMT and TS7. You're like, wait a second, what the hell? You will literally put your whole foot in C9's ass and then get whacked by IMT the next day. You're like, wait a second, what the fuck is going on? And it's like,
now keep in mind, NRG is a team that finished in the regular season with the LCS 2023 summer split 9-9. Okay, they were like 5th place actually because of their horrifyingly weird, inconsistent play style. This series against Cloud9, this was not a good series by them by any stretch of imagination. it really does look like NRG could beat them, but narrowly through, because NRG at this point in time still was having their massive inconsistencies.
They were still trying to figure out what was going on because, of course,
they lost, and Cloud9 beat them 3-0, right? So then, so after NRG beat Team Liquid in the LCS 2023 Summer Split Finals third place match, because this decides to go to Worlds, NRG beat Team Liquid. They beat Cloud9 in the finals, and yeah, this is kind of surprising. But if you're really looking back, if you're looking back at all of C9's playoff series between EG and NRG, you're like, that should be the expected result. They have been playing bad. They legitimately have been playing bad. That was going to happen at some point. It just so happened to happen, obviously, at the finals, where you can't have that happen, because how can you fix that? There's not an extra week or more weeks after that in the split to fix your issues. That's it. You just lost at the most crucial moment, even during the series. After game one, because they won game one in a pretty convincing fashion, the drafting was not only just bad, the gameplay was terrible. They just played extremely bad. But they've been played badly the entire split. It just never got punished enough, honestly. Okay, so that's the LCS 2023 Summer Split. Now we're going to Worlds 2023, okay? So at Worlds 2023, you're probably thinking like, okay, if they get very favorable opponents, then it could work for them, right? But you're also still remembering they were playing bad, okay? Keep in mind, they were still playing bad. So unless they went to scrims and they got an ultra scrim buff, they were going to be fizzling out at maybe 2 wins or getting knocked out the same way like G2 did potentially. The highest is how G2 got knocked out. The lowest is probably where, like, what's the lowest you could probably have, Matt? Team Liquid, we'll say, like 0. So Team Liquid will be our bottom. G2's like your top, right?
Yeah.
There's no real middle, because this team never really had a solid middle ground. It was always pretty much you play this good or you just play extremely just passive and you just let the game go by. Okay, so during Worlds 2023, they actually ended up facing, in the Swiss stage, Cloud9 faced Mad Lions, who they beat pretty handedly. And don't worry, guys, we'll make a video about Mad Lions just like this on another show, okay? So Cloud9 beat Mad Lions pretty handedly, right? They faced against LNG. Here's the thing about LNG, is LNG in that game wasn't really ever like losing to them, honestly.
Yeah.
Cloud9 flipped Baron at a really crucial moment, okay? And they had an advantage. Their bad team fighting caught up to them again. They gave away the advantage, and they lost to LNG. The difference here with LNG compared to every LCS team, and even NRG, when just LPL or LCK teams, the strong ones, see a disadvantage you have or see how you messed up something, they're going to immediately, not with the hesitation, capitalize on your mistake. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. They know exactly how you're going to play that situation. If you play it out badly, they're like, all right, cool. They're trash. Now we win. Remember, after Cloud9 flipped the Baron and messed up their team, when they started to siege the tier 2 and try to go into their base, they lost. Lose to LNG, okay? Then after that, they face off against T1. This is probably the epitome of their bad drafting catching to them. T1 absurdly destroyed them. It's not even close. There is no closeness in this game. This was T1 going, all right, this is probably, I'll be honest with you, that's probably what most of their scrims look like anyway, for being completely honest with themselves here. That's probably what all their scrims look like, outside of maybe, because in their videos, their players are like, yeah, we had a pretty bad day against Asian teams. That's all the days. Let's not play coy about that, right? You know? And then they lose to T1, lose to LNG. So that means they have to end up beating Fnatic in their best of 3. So they get one more shot, and they lose to Fnatic. Now, what's the biggest conundrum of all of this at World 2023 for Fnatic? Sorry, for Cloud9, actually, is not just drafting. I think the drafting was really, really bad, but the players as well. Okay, so in the Fnatic series, I'll ask you. Did you remember we were watching? Remember?
Yeah.
Remember that game one they played against Fnatic?
Yeah.
The game where they had an absurdly big advantage, but struggled to end the game. They're flipping a Baron. They don't need to flip a Baron. They're so far ahead. Literally, if you actually just fight them 4v5, they can't beat you. They legitimately can't fight you. Okay, guys? They were in a position where they were flipping Barons, and they had moments in the game where they were giving Fnatic advantages, even though Fnatic were so far behind. Like, they had an advantage of, like, Fudge doing well in lane, okay? So Fudge did well in lane, which is barely going to happen at Worlds ever, okay? Then he was on Rumble, and he actually handily beat Oscarinen on Jax, right? But Fudge hadn't been playing all well the tournament as well, and it was pretty suspect during the LCS 2023 Summer Split as well, okay? So during the Fnatic game, they struggle afterwards, right? But the game one, it really is, what is going on with this team? You can tell their confidence is all over the place. They aren't confident that they can make aggressive plays without anything backfiring on them. They are not sure what they should be doing at various moments in the game. Just all that's from game one. This one had a 10,000 gold advantage too, okay? So then afterwards, Fnatic beat them in games 2 and 3, mostly off the back of Humanoid playing really, really well. Fudge getting the Renekton pick, sucking on it. I mean, this is something we'll go into the players later, but this is just going over the actual game itself right now. So the later 2 games, they end up getting beat by Fnatic, and it's just terrible, honestly. Now, that's their year, okay? Now, we're going to talk about the players themselves, okay? So, how would I say this? Fudge, if he's going to ask for that amount of resources, then he needs to be able to carry the game. I really don't know why Blabber himself keeps going to Fudge's lane, knowing he's pretty bad at converting leads, when he doesn't go bot lane. Why doesn't he go bot lane and help out their winning bot lane or laner, which is Berserker? Why does Berserker not get resources? I just don't get it, you know? Why does Berserker not get resources when he's the one that's clearly able to convert his lead into a win? Remember, Berserker was winning them team fights at Worlds 2023, even when he had no jungle pressure at all. None. He just had to just hopefully, maybe hope that his jungler would peel for him, you know, or potentially help him team fighting, right? Fudge was just bad at Worlds. He's not good at carries, unless it's some mega OP pick like Rumble. He ran it down insanely hard, actually, you know? And I just don't understand why Blabber would position all of that in his trying to get someone ahead who clearly can't convert his leads, right? So then Blabber himself at Worlds, not aggressive enough. He looked like he didn't really know what to do at all in situations where they're behind. Remember, in League, it's also good to understand what you need to do when you're behind to come back into a game. So even with the LPL and LCK teams, they know if they're behind, they know how to get out of that situation. LCS teams do not. Neither do LEC teams. When they get beaten so hard, or they're in a inadvantageous position on the map, they don't know to play it out. As we said before, happened with Yike, happened with Blabber, happened with Shio, actually happened with a lot of the Western junglers. When they're behind, they have no clue what to do. Blabber just wasn't aggressive, really didn't know what to do on the map most of the time, unless they were in a super hard winning position, actually. And a Menace at Worlds, the only games he played well were the Fnatic ones. I mean, he played pretty badly in the other games too. I'll say that. He played pretty well in the Fnatic series, but too little too late, honestly. You know, it's pretty much just way too late in the year to be playing like that, because there's nothing you can do. The rest of the team is complete shit for the most part, you know? So, yeah, that's how I feel about the Cloud9 players so far. I think if you're looking back at the years in total, I think you'll be getting new players, you know? I don't think Fudge is staying. I think his time is up at Cloud9. I don't see a world to get rid of Blabber. I kind of would maybe look for a new jungler at this point. He's been there for like 6 years. Maybe it's time to look for a new jungler at this point. You know? He's been there since 2018 summer.
Who'd you get, though?
That's the problem. If you're building a team, and this is what I'll say for all the other videos we're going to do about teams like this, it's not really about getting better. It's more about what do you want out of your jungler? Like, what do you want out of a top laner? You know? Because that's why the LPL and LCK teams are good. Not because of the raw mechanics themselves. They have specific things they want their players to do. You know? It feels like with LEC and LCS teams, they want the players to all be carries, while also they want them to all be like weak side players, while also wanting them to all like, you know, have a mixture of both. And it's like, nah, that can't work for everyone. That just can't function, right? So if you want to keep Blabber because he's a carry jungler, then you don't need a carry top laner then. You need a top laner that can play carries, but can also just play weak side top laners and carry while playing weak side top laners. People are like, what the hell is that concept? You can do it. It's hard to explain, but that can be a thing. Basically, you want a player who can play Sion as well as he plays Renekton. You know? You're not getting a lot of kills, but you're impacting the game the same. That's kind of the concept of it, right? A Menace, I just don't see him saying, I think he's played outside of Spring, he's looked pretty bad most of the year, honestly. I mean, he single-handedly griefed that game 4 against NRG when he had Yone. Remember that, right? He literally single-handedly lost that himself, right? But they gave him all the resources, and he had to win that game. He was ahead, and he threw it, right? But even at Worlds, he played badly too, okay? After that, you have Berserker. I would personally try to keep him as best you can. I would, but it all kind of depends on does he want to stay, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him going to another team, especially any rivals, but it just depends on if he wants to stay. That's it. I don't think Zen's really ever been a good support, if I'm being honest here. I think he's been pretty meh for the most part. Some people say he was the second best support in LCS. For this year, that means nothing. I'm just saying, that really means nothing. We have no competition, honestly. So I'll ask you, what do you think about the Cloud9 players going into the off-season for 2023?
Berserker's the only one I would keep. Maybe Blabber, but it's like, I don't think there's any other jungler
yeah, that's the thing. Is
there LCS that's better?
Yeah, because the thing here is because there's certain valuable positions in North America that people try to keep, right? The really hardest ones to come by is junglers and supports. Everything else you could kind of just get away with, right?
Yeah. That's
why you see like imports being like junglers for the most part, or, you know, potentially supports always get like big name supports potentially. But I see Cloud9 getting 3 to 4 new players in this offseason. This is a very, very bad showing this year. And this was just pretty disappointing when you're looking at the level of gameplay for this line of players. And that's the result you're getting, you know? Like they really only convincingly beat Mad Lions, and Mad Lions is pretty jank for the most part, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, guys, that is my thoughts on Cloud9 for 2023 and why I think they failed. And a lot of that comes off of, you know, not just bad drafting, because that could be applied to any team, just bad levels of gameplay, decision-making on the map. Macro was really bad. Objective control was really bad. If you're talking just based at Worlds, because that's what recently happened for them at Worlds, Fudge getting just absolutely destroyed. Can't play carries very well. Lane like shit. Got destroyed candidly in a lot of matches. Blabber not being aggressive enough. Not knowing what to do when he's behind. Not knowing what to do when he's ahead. Menace just is a menace. He's just dog shit. His eyes are this small. He just can't see shit, obviously. Berserker not getting any assistance at all. Even a menace did not visit his lane to help or roam, right? Menace just can't roam properly at all, you know? Zen, I mean, he's just doing as well as he can, but there's not much more he can do. He's not going to have an upside to him like Mickey X or someone like Lehens or someone like fucking, what's the Genji support? Delight. You know, he's not going to be on that level. So at that point, you might as well get a new player. You know, if this is the level you're cool, it's like you can get something better than that, right? So,
exactly.
So yeah, we'll be doing this kind of thing for other, you know, orgs as well. Mad Lions is the next one because I would love to rip into those guys, actually, you know. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This was well, we recorded this during the Cloud9 podcast that we hold every single Sunday, 5 or 5:30 p.m. PST. Every week, actually. So see you guys later. Like, comment, and subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm MSK.
Peace.
See you guys later. Deuces. Peace. All right. Well, that's over. We'll be here for like another 5 minutes, and then we're good. What's up, bro? How you doing, buddy? What's up, adjusting? How you doing, man?
What's up?
How you guys doing tonight? Oh, God. That was pretty good. That's really good. Oh, God. And I got to clip that out after this downloads. Or sorry, this gets uploaded to StreamYard, and then I got to put that out as a video. You know, also it's much more time consuming just getting videos done on stream and then just uploading them too.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Whew. Oh, it's just like a rap god right there. Oh, what's up, man? You won your League Cup today. Yeah, we'll talk about Pokemon soon. We're almost done here. About to wrap it up soon. Let me see if this person is going to hit me back. If this person doesn't hit me back, then I'm about to just choke this motherfucker out, honestly.
Shit.
Oh my God, I hate it. People are just garbage, man. I hate it. I hate it so much, man. But yeah, what's been going on with you, man? Do you have a good time at locals today?
Yeah, no. We had to pre-release it. Barely anybody show up. It was just a chill day overall. Just chilling. Yeah, not too much happened. I pulled one of the best cards in the set. Thank God. My pulls are finally getting better again because I had a run where I had some jank pulls. They were some dog water. I was like, oh, this is not looking good. But my pulls are looking better now. I think I pulled like a $50 card, some shit like that.
We get Paradox Rift pre-release, right?
Yeah, third one, back to back days. I went to one yesterday. Didn't really pull anything. It was like everybody around me was pulling stuff, and I was just like, yep. And the thing is, like, half the people are like casual. They're probably just gonna put it in a bind and just let it sit there. It's like, yeah, that's how it usually happens. It's like plus yesterday I was mostly just teaching half this kid how to play Pokemon and shit. It's like people know how to play Pokemon. It's like one guy was kind of like pro, but he played Yu-Gi-Oh. But remember me and played Yu-Gi-Oh, I just waxed him. It was like.
What, Chaz over here beating kids, destroying their dreams in Pokemon? Oh my god!
No, Pokemon I was just teaching. Like one kid, like literally, I was trying to throw on purpose, but I was like, nah, okay, I'm just beat up and I'm gonna teach them how to like play sequence and all that.
But remember, every kid's supposed to get a participation trophy. Remember, man?
I mean, they do. It's called 3 packs. You get 3 packs. Everybody gets because like at my locals now, what they're gonna stop doing is giving like, oh, if you win, you get 5 packs. Everybody's just gonna get 3 packs. It's like that's the part. It's a non-competitive event. It's there. You just there to have fun and pull a new card and whatever. Like I pulled the counter catcher, and it was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm over there sitting like finally. After teaching one kid how to play yesterday, because the older guy was teaching him, but he just saw how I was able to do it more effortlessly. I just did it a lot easier. I was like, nah, okay, just what you want to do is you want to read the card, understand what you have to do first, and all that. The kid was like 5. That's what it was like. I was like, his mom over there was like, oh, you gotta go. I was like, okay. I was like,
a black mom, white mom,
nah, white mom. I think I was the only actual black kid there. There was like a couple of Indians. There was a couple of Indian kids. A kid was like half and half, and then I remember his mom. His mom just gave it a look. I was like, do I know her? And then she's like, you don't remember me. I was like,
oh my god, Brooke out here dressing up in a bunny outfit. Oh my god, god damn.
Nigga, man, you gotta put the pics up, man. I gotta see this.
Brooke from 100 Thieves.
I know. Yeah, nigga, I gotta see this.
She's like, it was a cute outfit. It's a cute like snow bunny outfit too.
Nigga, she is a snow bunny. What you talking about? Nigga,
she can't go around dressing like this. Jesus Christ.
Oh Jesus. When she got makeup on, she was good. Without makeup on, it's kind of like
you think her butthole probably tastes good.
You stupid.
You gotta put mustard on that shit.
Nah. She don't eat veggies. That's be her diet shit.
Holy God, man!
Her diet is soup.
You know what's crazy is that no European team is qualified for the knockout stage. Last time this happened was 9 years ago. So that was what, 2014? Yeah, that was 2014 this happened.
What SK gave us last at Worlds.
Yeah, that was fucked too. What a weird situation that was.
Yep.
God. Yeah, and next week we'll go over like the world's no. No. That was an idea I had, but no. Next week we'll do a potentially Mad Lions or another team that you guys might also want us to go over.
Yeah.
Who else would you want to do it? So I know we have Mad Lions, but the Fnatic, that's an interesting one right there too.
But that G2.
Oh yeah, G2. Yeah.
I definitely go because that
sucks though. Like, and if it was last year and they just lost one BO1, he'd be like, oh fuck, if that had a best of 3, it could have had a chance. Bro, no, I got count that out. That was a best of 3, and that sucks so hard right there.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. It's like NRG. People are gonna call NRG a top 8 team in the world.
And then the Pelican, yeah, we're exposed. Yeah, I was like, oh, shut the fuck up, man. And like every time he talks, I just want to punch him in the face. You can tell he was one of those dirty kids at school. You just want to fuck him up every time he says something. I was like,
yeah, I think he typed, "Are we still frauds?" And it's like,
yes,
you can be a fraud. People are saying being a fraud means you could get exposed later, right? It doesn't have to be in that moment.
like,
I don't think he understands how that works, though. You know, like,
yeah.
and this is how their road was. Remember, they faced Weibo, and they had the part of the seeding where it just got progressively easy for them based off the randomness of the group draw. Remember, it got progressively easy for them, actually. They started with a really hard team in Weibo, which is hard to them. They faced Team Liquid, because isn't that a free win? Facing up against someone you face against all year. Then they face Mad Lions. It's Mad Lions, so they would lose because it's Mad Lions. And then you face off against G2. I'm not saying G2 is easy because G2 themselves beat Asian teams, but NRG made it to top 8 without beating one Asian team. G2 beat 2 of them, actually. G2 even beat the team that they lost to initially out the gate.
It's like the two teams G2 beat, and then NRG can't beat it, but NRG can beat it. Like I said, it don't make no fucking sense. It don't make no fucking sense. It's like,
and then NRG just get their buff to play against better teams because
or the NRG just caught G2 at the right time. They're reeling from the Gen G matchup.
Right, yeah.
Like I said, NRG is literally the team of opportunity. They always catch a team at the right time. They faced Team Liquid, who already had doubts within the team. And before Team Liquid, they lost to Cloud9. I forgot who NRG faced before. EG?
Mm-hmm.
They
faced you're talking about Worlds, right?
No, in the LCS playoffs.
The playoffs. Oh, yeah. So they faced off against Golden Guardians.
A team that was already on fraud themselves.
Yeah. Then they lost to Cloud9, right? Yep. A series they played handily well in. And then after that, they just kind of ran everybody at that point.
Yeah.
Let me go over summer 2022 current roster moves. God dang it, man. Yeah, it's gonna be so weird if they beat Weibo, because then they're gonna be top 4, NRG top 4. I don't want to live in that reality. Yeah. I don't live in a reality where I have to say NRG was a top 4 team at Worlds 2023.
I don't want to say this. What if NRG was the Worlds? They're like NRG's world champions. I'm not watching.
Okay, that's not happening.
I'm not watching. Hey, dude, we don't know what the fuck happens.
This is actually so crazy. Oh Lord, it's because I don't think they're gonna get past Weibo, but if they have that better team buff that they have, it's good Lord. That's gonna be scary.
All it takes is, it feels like with this team, it takes one fucking game and shit goes their way. Think about it. When everybody goes left, they go right, and then boom. It don't make no fucking sense.
Oh God, man. But it was great. A great episode tonight. Feel like we had a good time talking to all you guys. You guys got a chance to see us get a video done live, which will be up separately on the channel. So if you didn't watch it live, it's okay. Love to be for the replays always there. And I do want to say thank you to every single person we have that are listening to the show. You guys are awesome. You guys are great. Actually, I love you so much.
That's a good build. And
I should have a one-on-one podcast coming up with Tyler later on. I mean, hopefully he'll hit me back. I mean, I'm going to confirm if we're on at 9.
Yeah.
So if Tyler doesn't confirm what Tyler made, guy I talk about like Dragon Ball Z with, if he doesn't confirm by 9 PST, then we'll just do the TCG show. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask after this show to make sure we're on. Another person I was supposed to have on around this time just didn't hit me back at all, and I was like, I'm just deleting our conversation. I'm done. I hate
Man,
people sometimes.
yeah. Sometimes you gotta be like, fuck that nigga, man.
Yeah,
So sometimes you
for
just
sure.
go like, fuck these hoes. You gotta be. Sometimes you just gotta be like that.
I hate being like that sometimes. I feel so bad afterwards.
But I'm telling you like this. That's how I am when it came to. Now I remember why that woman was mad at me. I was like, you never actually invited me. You said, do you want to come? I was like, maybe. Maybe to me is a no.
Yeah, sure. Maybe it's a swing thing for me. If you can convince me, I'm good. But if not,
Yeah.
probably gonna be a no. Also depends on the day and time. People ask things at really random times, and it's like, dude, you gave me no advance of this. If you told me like a week ago, I could probably make a plan
That's
for it.
true.
But it's like, bro, if you're asking like right now, right after I got off work, bro, that can't happen.
Yeah,
You know?
if you ask me on a day I gotta work, nah, I can't do it. I would not get up. I would
You know?
not get off work.
That's the thing is you got to get off work after you already been there all day and hang out with motherfuckers that you are
You
kind
really
of
don't want to like.
yeah. It's just
I'll be
yeah.
tired.
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
be
saying
tired.
I'm tired, and I after my shift's over, I kind of just want to leave. You know, like I just kind
Yeah,
of want to go home and just be alone and just chill. You know what I mean? Kind of want to just be in my own space for a little
yeah.
bit. You know,
Rocky.
and yeah, that's gonna be it. So we should be live on Twitch and Rumble and Twitter later on tonight if I can confirm the episode. If not, we'll just have a TCG episode tonight potentially.
You
So
have to
just
do.
play
Nah,
it
I
by
haven't
ear,
read the
guys.
new Flamingo.
But just well, we're gonna play it by ears. But for the people who are listening and watching the show, whenever new episodes drop, thank you so much. We'll be back here again. Well, since there's no big Swiss stage happening for extra episodes, the next time we're gonna be back is basically we don't have to preview the matches. We'll just be back here next Sunday. You know,
Yeah.
now it's just gonna be just Sunday because it's just gonna be quarters, semis, and then just finals actually. So. But we will see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching this week. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Peace out, everybody.